a run at the end of conference play to get a spot in the tournament.
Yeah, and they definitely have been a lot better in the MAC Sun Belt Challenge. They've have 3 wins in a row. They won their 2 games last year. They won their first game in their season opener against Louisiana. So you're looking to sweep the Sun Belt Challenge back-to-back years. That would be a huge morale boost for them. But yeah, like you said, it's just the late season. It's been such a grind all season, and it really starts to wear on you, and it really starts to get to your confidence, especially when your last 2 games, obviously losing the Battle of I-75 once again in Savage Arena, so that's always going to sting. But I'm looking for I think Bowling Green, obviously like you said, it's a break from conference play, so you have a chance to regroup and really find your rhythm again. But it's going to be a real test with this Coastal Carolina team.
And one of the nice things with this MAC Sunbelt Challenge breaking up that regular season MAC play is they get a new look at a team that they don't often see. Sometimes with conference play, you see the same teams year in, year out. You don't see Coastal Carolina every year. Last time these 2 teams played was in 2018, where Coastal Carolina, 1-point win. It's a new team. You can try new offensive sets. You can try new defensive looks. You can try a lot of different things and see how it matches up against a Sunbelt team who's coming here to Bowling Green from nice Coastal Carolina, the nice weather, the sun. Now they're in Bowling Green, nice and cold. See how some of these new things match up against a different looking team.
And I know in the grand scheme of things, this game doesn't really matter. But when you look at Coastal Carolina headed into this one, what sort of are they bringing in the table as they take on the Falcons at the Stroh Center?
Coastal Carolina is just a good shooting team, especially from deep. 35% on 3-pointers this season. That leads the Sun Belt. They're very dangerous in that category. Outside of that, it's an interesting thing because they're not all that efficient in terms of overall scoring outside of 3-point shooting, because they're not a team that's going to jack them up, 40 times a game or anything ridiculous. But they are going to be very efficient with that. They're a good rebounding team, over 40 boards a game. They're top quarter of the conference in the Sun Belt with that, especially the defensive rebounding for them. That's kind of their hallmark. So those are really the 2 things I think you have to look for in attacking when you play against Coastal Carolina. Limit their 3-point shooting, win on the boards. If you do that, you're going to win against the Chanticleers.
Yeah, I think that's definitely the big key, as obviously watching the three ball, because they can really kill you there in that regard. But when I was looking, obviously, like I said, Bowling Green won their first matchup against Louisiana. Louisiana is bottom of the Sun Belt. They only have 1 win in the conference. But guess who that 1 win is to? Coastal Carolina. And I looked at that game. Coastal Carolina shot terribly in that game. I think they were 6 for 30 from 3. So no doubt in my mind the Falcons were looking at that game. 32% from the field, 20% from 3, even 61% from the free throw line. So Coastal Carolina was just not efficient in that game, and the Raging Cajuns were able to take advantage of that. So I'm looking to see a lot of the same for Bowling Green in that regards, in their defensive aspect. I know in their last game against Arkansas State, they turned the ball over 32 times. So that if you're giving up 32 turnovers in a game, you are not winning. I don't care like what team you are. You cannot turn the ball over 32 times. And we know that Janaea Donahue is the queen of steals. She has been lighting it up, averaging 4 steals a game. I think she can have a really big game steal-wise against this Coastal Carolina team.
Yeah, and you talk defense. Coastal Carolina comes in with a really good defense, averaging 65.1 points against them. They're anchored by Kinsey Grimes, tied for first with blocks on the team, 35 steals on the season already. Tied for second in shot blocks with 21. Keep an eye on her. She's going to be roaming not only the paint, but the perimeter, looking for easy steals, and is able to get back and get blocks. So Bowling Green going to have to watch out for her, keep the ball away from her, because she, like Donahue, is always looking for an opportunity to make a little bit of a problem on the defensive end.
So we're going to take a short break here, but when we come back, we're going to have a little more discussion about BG women's basketball, where they stand heading into this one, and more looking around the MAC for more matchups going on in the conference.
Are you a fan of BG Falcon Media and the Falcon Media Sports Network? You can show your support for BGSU student media by donating at the bottom of the page of stories on bgfalconmedia.com.
BG men's basketball travels to Arkansas to face Arkansas State on Saturday, February 7th at 3 p.m. Head over to bgfalconmedia.com for the recap of the game by Falcon Media Sports Network's Andrew Smith and all news about BGSU athletics.
Welcome back here to WBGU 88.1 FM. We're here back in the cooling center, of course, still warm, getting rid of that cold weather. We're nice and insulated in here, but BGSU women's basketball, they're out at the Stroh Center, a little bit of a ways away from us, and we're going to have a little bit of discussion. Again, we talked a little bit about where they kind of stand heading into this game, but is there anyone that you guys are looking towards to maybe have a big game today against Coastal Carolina?
I think Paige Kohler could be set for another big game. Her and obviously Janaea Donahue, they've been pretty much the the standard for this Bowling Green offense. They're the only two. They're the only two in double figures. So I look for them to have another big game here against Coastal Carolina.
I would like to see, and it's going to be interesting just to see how these teams approach this game, first of all, because there's two very different ways of looking at these mid-conference season non-conference games, of whether you go out and try to find a way to win a basketball game or whether you just go out through the motions and try to preserve your players. Regardless, Paige Kohler is going to play. I'd like to see an efficient shooting game out of her. She needs to get more efficient if this team's going to do anything this season. She cannot shoot 34% from the field and 28% from three and have this team win a game in Cleveland, let alone get to Cleveland. 6 for 20 against Kent State. She did make 5 of 13 from downtown, but 34% on the season, 28% on three-pointers. She just needs to find a way to be more efficient, and there's no better way to start that than a game where you're not going to be asked to shoot a lot against a Coastal Carolina team. Maybe work on her shot selection a little bit, get some confidence in that, and find something that she can use for the rest of conference play.
Yeah, and I think the whole team just needs to be consistent. You look at their last two games against Toledo, 27% overall, 24% from three, and against Kent State, 31% overall, 19% from three. So this team has just been really struggling, offensively shooting the ball. So I really think that they just need to come out and just play it safe. Obviously this game does not really matter conference-wise, obviously, but it's still good to have, a momentum boost, especially when you're coming off a really cold stretch, one through their last 6, like we talked about. So, you just have a chance to clean things up without all that pressure from the conference. So it's just going to be a very interesting matchup here. So we'll look forward to it, won't we, Foster?
Yes, and one of those players we kind of talked about trying to find consistency, Lauren Gherkin, 33 from 140 from three, 23.6% from behind the arc. Somebody who we talked about before the season as a big player that can step up and be that second offensive scoring threat. Just hasn't found her footing in the season, and as we get down the line here going into the MAC tournament play, if she can start to find her footing and really find the range from behind the arc, become a very, very big piece of this offense for Bowling Green, stretching the court. She's 6'1", 6 foot. She's being able to shoot that three is a big plus for this team.
Yeah, and when we got a couple more games going on right now around the MAC. I mean, a couple currently happening right now. Tyler, do you want to bring it down? What's going on right now in the other side of the conference right now?
Yeah, about half of MAC women's basketball is currently playing most of the games in the MAC Sunbelt Challenge. The only standalone conference game is Ohio against Ball State in Muncie. Ball State's currently up on the Bobcats 44-40 at halftime. Over in Akron, the Zips are trailing the Louisiana Ragin' Cajuns by 9, 65-56. That has just over 6 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Central Michigan leading Marshall 43-35 in Mount Pleasant. Second quarter about to begin over there. Kent State leading App State by 9, 39-30 over in Kent. That has also hit halftime. And then just about to begin the second half, Miami is leading Georgia Southern 38-34 down in Oxford. Still to come, the Bowling Green Coastal game. You also have Buffalo and ULM at 2 o'clock in New York. Eastern Michigan and Arkansas State at 2 o'clock in Ypsilanti. NIU and Texas State at 2 p.m. in DeKalb and Toledo. And Southern Miss at 2 p.m. in Tilton.
Now, before we throw it on out to Adam and Trey, are there any final thoughts of today's matchup before we head on out to the Stroh Center?
Yeah, I think this team, Bowling Green, they have to come out ready to play. Obviously, we talked about this is a non-conference game for them, and it's a different look, but this can still be a momentum builder for the team. I'd like to really see them come out and run those sets through, find that good open shot, and then when they do find that open shot, knock it down and really keep themselves in a rhythm going into the rest of the MAC play.
And I want to see some strong rebounding from this team, too. I know they're going to be tested. Obviously, Taya Ellis is going to be tested with their two leading rebounders, Grimes and Houston. But I think if Bowling Green can win that rebounding battle, I think they have a great chance in this game.
That's going to do it for us for right now. So we're going to take a break. But when we come back, we're going to throw it to Adam and Trey right now inside the Stroh Center for their matchup, for women's basketball's matchup against Coastal Carolina.
Unlike other local sources, Falcon Media Sports Network and BG Falcon Media will never charge a paywall to view our content. However, if you are looking to support student media, you can donate at the bottom of our stories on bgfalconmedia.com.
This week's Falcon Media Sports Network Athlete of the Week is women's track and field mid-distance runner Rachel Hoover. The sophomore set BGSU school records in the mile, winning the event in 4 minutes and 40.35 seconds, beating 45 competitors including runners from 5 Big Ten teams. She also won the 800 meter with 2 minutes and 12.64 seconds. Hoover was first team indoor All-MAC and first team outdoor All-MAC in 2025. Hoover cut down her mile time by 10 seconds from her previous PR just 12 days prior. She's taking a big leap in her race now compared to when she was a freshman, head coach Lou Snelling said. This has been Falcon Media Sports Network's Athlete of the Week.
Ever heard of Falcon Media Sports Network's broadcast on Falcon Radio or WBGU 88.1 FM but don't know where to listen? Well, set down the radio, pick up your phone, and go to bgfalconmedia.com and scroll to the bottom of the page to stream Falcon Radio and WBGU 88.1 FM for all broadcasts.
Hey everyone, Zach here. Thank you for listening to 88.1 WBGU FM. Additional information about the station can be found on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram by searching at WBGU FM. There, you can stay up to date on the latest WBGU news or learn about any upcoming radio events in the community. Thank you. Here's Zach, signing off.
BG Hockey finishes their weekend series against St. Thomas at the Slater Family Ice Arena on Saturday, February 7th.
Falcon Media Sports Network's Gavin Gill, Kevin Hutchinson, and Artie Abrego will start the broadcast with a pregame show at 5:45 p.m. before Ben Korak and Vaughn Allum call the game at 6:07 p.m. on WBGU 88.1 FM,
Your home for Falcon hockey.
Interested in joining Falcon Media Sports Network? If you're looking to get involved, send an email to sports@bgfalconmedia.com.
Hi, my name's Emma Stransky. I'm a winger for BGSU women's soccer. My 4 favorite animals are ferret, because I have 2 and they're the cutest things ever. Falcon, because we're BG. Fox, because Chris Fox, our coach, and then a flamingo because I think that they're pretty.
This is Phil Beskid, BGSU Radio Faculty Advisor. You can catch all the Falcon Media Sports Network broadcasts on our 2 stations, WBGU 88.1 FM and Falcon Radio, which can both be found on bgfalconmedia.com. I Ziggy.
You are listening to Falcon Media Sports Network coverage on WBGU 88.1 FM in Bowling Green, Ohio.
All right, welcome back to the Cooling Center. We're going to throw it on out to Adam and Trey, who are right now out at the Stroh Center getting ready for this matchup. How's it going out there, guys?
Back inside the Stroh Center, my name is Trey Kennedy alongside Adam Duffin. And outside of listening here on WBGU 88.1 FM, we're also streaming live on Facebook on the Falcons Athletic website or page. And we got the starting lineup, so Adam, get us started with Bowling Green.
Yeah, for Bowling Green, they have Kaya Woods, Paige Kohler, Janaea Donahue, and 2 new additions to the starting lineup, Jasmine Fern and Kendall Moxie, as Fern did have a couple starts earlier in the season, and Moxie getting her first start of the campaign.
And then on the other side, for Coastal Carolina, we got the freshman guard, Bailey Lauder. We have the junior forward, Tessa Grady. The graduate student guard, Kristen Williams. Number 15, Tatiana Harris, the forward junior. And then lastly, Kinsey Grimes, the freshman forward. So kind of a different lineup for both these teams that we've seen more play out this season.
Yeah, they've been missing Paige Bradley from their lineup, and I thought it was interesting that Tracy Houston wasn't starting today. She's averaging over 11 points per game in the season. Meanwhile, Harris just above 4, so a little interesting there, but Bowling Green also has it where they've switched up the starting lineup. Maybe both teams just messing around a bit with the Max Sun Belt Challenge, as it doesn't count towards conference play. Try to get some players going.
Now, again, this offense for Bowling Green's been up and down all season. Inconsistency on the offensive end. Adam, what do they need to do today to kind of get out of that pickle and struggle offensively against a team that's not MAC anymore?
Well, the main thing, they've missed a lot of open threes so far this season. That's been a huge issue. It's not been contested shots. It's been the open ones they've missed. And as well, just creating lanes for players to go downhill. Most of the time, you know, if you can't hit from three-point range, you got to go inside, drive inside the paint, and they got to find ways to get players involved in that. Kendall Moxie has had a couple games this year where she's really gotten going and had efficient games, so her being in the starting lineup changed that. And Jasmine Fern, early in the season, she had back-to-back games with 4 3-pointers. Maybe they can get her going in this matchup as well.
Bowling Green and Coastal Carolina both dropping their past 2 games. So both of these teams looking to rebound. Bowling Green with 11-11 overall record and 4-7 in the conference. And Coastal Carolina, the Chanticleers, 11-13 and 4-8 in the conference. And this game is kind of a game for both teams to kind of mess around with things as we tail off to the last month or so of the season. And I'm excited to see how this game actually unfolds.
Yeah, and you mentioned back-to-back losses for both teams heading in this one. Bowling Green, it's just simply the offense wasn't producing enough. For Coastal Carolina, they scored 70 points last game. It's just that they turned the ball over 32 times. That's never going to get the job done in a game.
Yeah, and this season, the Chanticleers are also averaging 4.4 more rebounds per game than Bowling Green, averaging 41.4 rebounds a game. And Bowling Green's got to be able to be physical down low in the paint, and especially in Moxie in the starting lineup, she's got to have a great game today.
Yeah, and Coastal Carolina, Kevin Pedersen is a great head coach, had Landers women's basketball to 13 Division II championship tournament appearances, and then since he's been at Coastal Carolina, helped build up the team where they went 23-9 last season. Now a bit more of a struggle this year, but that's how it goes in college. Not every program's going to build up every year, but we'll see how he fares against Bowling Green in the Stroh Center tonight.
Today, it's Play for K Day at the Stroh Center, and as coaches and players have worn pink throughout warm-ups, and a lot of fans in the stands have also worn pink, and with that, we're almost ready for tip-off.
I mean, I tried with the color I have here. It's close. It's the closest thing I had.
For those on the live stream here on Facebook, Adam is in the color or the camera, and yeah,
it's
not bad. Not bad.
It's a half and half. It's not as pink as some of the shirts they have in the stands, as they handed out some, and also have some mini pink tassels to wave in the stands as well.
For Coastal Carolina, the Chanticleers, Tessa Grady is at the center court, tipping off against Bowling Green's Kendall Moxie. And with that, we are ready here at the Stroh Center for tip. And with that, Coastal Carolina will control the first possession. It's Louder, left wing, she hands it off. It's Kristen Williams. She gives away right wing to Grimes. As she goes inside, kicks it back out left wing. It's Grady with it right wing. Donahue closely guarding her, 12 on the shot clock. Floater game, no good, and rebounded by Paige Kohler. First offensive possession here for the Falcons. Donahue, top of the key, swings it out to Woods, left wing. It's Fern, right wing, lobs inside to Moxie. She's at the top of the three-point line. And Woods will shoot a left wing three and nails it. And Bowling Green will start with the lead up 3-0 here early.
Great job, Moxie, surveying the whole wing on both sides and finds wide open Kaya Woods.
It's Louder who gives way to Williams on the left wing. It's knocked loose and recovered here by Grady. Back inside to Louder. She goes inside and loses it, and Kaya Woods steals it away. She goes coast to coast. Contested layup. She misses, but drew the contact.
Offensive foul is what they're calling. I think they said she leaned to the left arm in as she went up to the basket.
We've seen that early, though. Bowling Green kind of playing that defensive style, that tenacity down low, and it's something that's going to be needed to succeed here for Bowling Green to come out victorious. Williams at the midcourt, directing traffic and setting the offensive play. Right wing, she heaves a long three. No good, and another rebound here for Kohler early. She finds Donahue, left side. She drives inside the paint, off the glass, no good. And taken away by the Chanticleers. The ball got lost out of bounds, and it will, I believe, stay with.
It will be Bowling Green ball. Kristen Williams, she turned around and Kaya Woods was right there. It kind of shocked her, and she kind of just fell over with the ball, and Kaya Woods let it go out of bounds.
Another turnover here for the Chanticleers as Kaya Woods will run point. She finds Fern, right wing. 3-0 Bowling Green. 8 minutes to go in the first quarter. Fern, top of three-point arc, gives way to Kohler, right wing. Back to Woods, left wing. 2 on the shot clock. No good. And it goes with the Chanticleers.
Coastal in his zone defense early on.
Grady with the three-point shot. In and out. Good look there for a three ball, and Donahue will take the ball across the front court. She finds a right wing, Paige Kohler. And Paige Kohler knocks down her first triple of the game. 6-0 Falcons with 7:40 left in the first quarter. On the other end, it's Williams, right wing. Gives it to Grimes as she hands it off to Grady. Grady getting inside. Gives it back out to Williams, top of the key. 9 on the shot clock. She drives left side. She throws it away, and it's taken away by Jasmine Fern. The ball was knocked out of Kaya Woods' hands, and it'll stay with Bowling Green. Making some substitutions here as Deanna Jimenez checks in among Hennessy Lou Brown for the Chanticleers.
And this is the type of start Bowling Green needs. Make 2 threes early on and play nice competitive defense and force long-range shots.
6-0 Bowling Green with 7 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Kohler with it, top of the key, being double-teamed. Gives it to Woods, back to Kohler. Kohler fakes, fires, and finds Jasmine Fern for a three. And the three is rolling here for the Falcons early as they're up 9-0. And with that, the first timeout of the game is called. This timeout is sponsored by Juniper Brewing Company, 145 South Main Street in downtown Bowling Green, featuring coffee and craft beer and serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner. See the latest menu at juniperbrew.com. You're listening to Falcons women's basketball here on WBGU 88.1 FM.
This is a Falcon Media Sports Network studio update.
Welcome back to the studio. We got a little update of going on about what's going on right now in other games right now in BGSU. Foster, you want to break it down for us?
Absolutely. Some other Sun Belt MAC challenges going on the men's side of things. App State leads Eastern Michigan 39-35 with 16:09 left to play in the second quarter. UMass leading Coastal Carolina in Coastal Carolina with 16:51 left to go, 36-24. And NIU has just tipped off against Georgia State, leading them 11-5, now 14-7 as both of them answer a couple scores. And Bowling Green will play Arkansas State at 3 p.m. Those two teams meeting up in Arkansas State. The Falcons already down there, ready to play the Red Wolves, as those two teams will meet up for the second half of the MAC Sunbelt Challenge. Just a couple other upcoming MAC games. JMU will play Toledo at 4 p.m. Western Michigan will take on Texas State. Texas State, a team who Bowling Green played early in the season for their first MAC Sunbelt game. Kent State will play USM, Southern Mississippi. And one of the bigger games, Akron and Troy. 19-4 Akron will play 16-8 Troy, 6 p.m. tonight on ESPN2 at 6 p.m. So just a couple of other big MAC Sunbelt challenges to watch.
All right, we're going to throw it back to Adam and Trey in just a little bit. We're going to go head back to our break. When we come back, more BGS women's basketball.
Welcome back inside the Stroh Center as Bowling Green has started off red hot behind the three-point line. 3 early three-pointers, making it a 9-0 advantage for the Falcons. 6:50 left to go. And Adam, what have you seen so far?
Well, so far Bowling Green, it started off just by making that extra pass on these shots. Kendall Moxie, the first three, she caught it at the free throw line, turned to see all the options available, found Kaya Woods with space, and then as well, Janea Donahue stopped and decided to pass it to Kohler instead of driving to the basket. Kohler had just enough space, and the same thing happened with Jasmine Fern. You don't always need, no defenders near you on a shot. As long as there's just enough space for you to get your regular shot off, and Bowling Green has just, great job passing early.
Ball movement always comes at a premium in success for the Falcons this season. They got to continue that going forward. But meanwhile, it's the Chanticleers on offense as they have it on offense. It's Jimenez at the top of the three-point arc. She drives elbow, kicks it out right wing. Three-point shot, no good. Rebounded by the Chanticleers. It's back with Jimenez as she goes atop the three-point or free throw line and knocks down a nice mid-range. 9-2 Bowling Green. On the other end, it's Kyle Woods finding Jasmine Fern wide open on a right wing three, and it's good. Jasmine Fern with another three-pointer. 12-2 Bowling Green.
Just broke the press, and Jasmine Fern was all alone in that right corner.
On the other end, it's the Chanticleers on offense. Down low, and they found a tough shot there and banked it off the glass. On the other end, stolen. Loose ball on the floor, and Fern and other bodies. Ball is still loose, and Janaea Donahue comes up with it. Kyle Woods driving inside, kicks it out. It's Donahue, left wing three. No good. Taken out of bounds, and I believe it's last touch by the Chanticleers. It is.
I want to talk about what happened off that inbound. There was about 6 out of the 10 players on the floor fighting for that loose ball, and no one could grab it until Janaea Donahue got it outside of the pile. And Bowling Green, even though it led to a missed three, they have an opportunity down low.
Donahue found another player. That's Fern yet again on the left wing. 15-4 Bowling Green as we approach 5 minutes to go in this first quarter of action. On the other side, it's Grimes driving inside the paint and loses the ball out of bounds. They're going to call it off of Donahue. Gotta love how the Falcons have shot the three-point ball. 71.4% from the three this early in the game. Something that we've seen very rarely of the Falcons this season.
And Jasmine Fern, a perfect 3-3 with 9 points. It seems like she wants to regain that starting role with how she's playing to start this one.
Indeed. It's Louder giving off to Grimes. Grimes to Jimenez. And then it's Hennessy Lou Brown driving inside and knocked away by Moxie near the Falcons bench. On the other side, it's Kohler on offense. They're going to call a double dribble off of Kohler. It'll be a turnover here for the Falcons.
Yeah, it looked like she brought it underneath, or her hand underneath the ball as she was trying to cut through traffic a little bit.
15-4 Bowling Green lead as we are under 5 minutes now in the first quarter. It's Lou Brown handing it off, or at least attempting to Tessa Grady.
And the double dribble right there as Fred Shamil starts laughing with the one official as 2 dribbling violations in a row.
5 turnovers for the Chanticleers, 3 for the Falcons here in the early going. It's Kira Miller and her first minutes of action. Finds Fern. Fern gives it off to Woods. Woods left mid-range shot and knocks it down. The Falcons can't miss early in this first quarter. Meanwhile, it's Tessa Grady driving on the left side off the glass, and she was fouled.
Interesting there on the other end. Kaya Woods took that mid-range shot on a pull-up with plenty of time in the shot clock. She did hit it, but that's not a shot you see the Falcons take many times this season. And in transition there, Tessa Grady, she just got behind the defense. Not much you can really do about that besides just encourage your players to get back.
Grady's first free throw attempt is no good, but Grady's been one of the Chanticleers' most prolific scorers on their team. 13.7 points per game. That goes alongside Kristen Williams. And her second free throw attempt is good.
What's funny about that is Tessa Grady and Kristen Williams, they average the same amount, and it's not a decimal difference. They have the same amount of points on the season exactly.
17-5, Bowling Green leading. It's Kira Miller quickly running the floor. Now looking for Cecil, who's getting in her first minutes of play. Now it's Woods, top of the key. Now it's Kira Miller, right wing, back to Gherkin. Woods, Cecil now left wing. Ball movement going well here for the Falcons early. 10 on the shot clock. It's Miller, right wing. She goes inside the paint, drives, and loses the ball. It goes out of bounds. They're going to call off the Chanticleers.
This is an interesting lineup for Bowling Green. Woods, Moxie, Gherkin, Cecil, and Miller. I don't think they've all been on the floor at the same time this season.
If so, very rarely. Gherkin left alone, the top of the key, no good. Loose ball, but taken care of by the Chanticleers. On the other end, it's Grimes. Kicks it out. Grady back to Grimes. Now she finds Jimenez about left wing. Still not anywhere near where she wants to shoot. She kicks it out. It's back to Grimes. Woods closely guarding her. She'll fire a long-range shot. It will misfire. And it will be taken by Lauren Gherkin. 17-5, Bowling Green still leading. On the other end, it's Kira Miller. Feeds it to Woods, top of the key. Woods will motion the play. Screen set by Moxie. Woods driving, kicks it out. Gherkin fakes it, fires, misses it, and it'll be taken back by Kyle Woods. We approaching under 3 minutes to go in the first quarter. It's Kira Miller. Mid-range right side. Feeds it to Emily Cecil, top of the key, and she misfires and rebounded by Grimes. And the Chanticleers will run offense. It's Jimenez driving and attempting a shot, but she got fouled as she got whacked in the face.
Easy call there. Lauren Gherkin, one arm hit towards the head, the other got all of the arm. But Bowling Green, that last possession, it didn't work out, but players, they're moving after making a pass. Sometimes this season the offense gets stagnant, and it's an issue. So
far, the Falcons are shooting 50% from the field, 55.6% from three, and for the Chanticleers, they're shooting 28% from the field. Now Jimenez at the free throw line. Her first attempt. Rolls in, making it a 17-6 Bowling Green advantage.
And it's interesting, Jimenez, one of the two players on the roster transfer from Wisconsin, as Tessa Grady also played there.
Jimenez's second free throw attempt is good as well. 17-7 Bowling Green lead. Paige Kohler back in the lineup. And Taya Ellis in her first minutes of action as well. Kohler crossing the forecourt. Feeds it to Cecil left wing. She finds Lauren Gherkin right wing. Now it's back with Kohler. Miller, Cecil now on the left wing. Finds Lauren Gherkin again. She will fire a three and knocks it down. Lauren Gherkin in on the scoring. 27 Bowling Green lead. 2:15 left in the first quarter. It's Grady, right wing for the Chanticleers driving. Looking for a foul. She gets the rebound and drives back in and then finds a basket and gets fouled there.
It was an awkward play. It looked like Ellis got the block and thought she may have committed a foul. She kind of stood still, and then Grady was able to get the ball back, and it looked like she might have landed on her head as she got the basket to count and the foul.
She is up and standing, but definitely shook up after that play.
Yeah, that's not fun. When you go up for a shot, get fouled, you really don't have any control. Not much you can do.
The Falcons are 6 of 10 early from three, and gotta love that sign, but they gotta continue to put the gas on the floor. As Grady knocks down the free throw, completing the three-point play. 20-10 is your score. With Bowling Green leading. On the other end, it's Cecil controlling the basket, finding Kohler, and knocked away by Grady. And she's running coast to coast, and she scores, taking advantage of that poor pass there by the Falcons. 20-12 is your score. Another errant pass by the Falcons and taken back by the Chanticleers, and just ill-advised throws here early for the Falcons. And on the other side, it's Tay Ellis that steals the ball, and Paige Kohler running the floor. It's going coast to coast, and a whistle's blown. And she was fouled.
And Bowling Green right there costing themselves by just sloppy passes in the backcourt when trying to break the press. They did it effectively the first couple of times, and right there just making an overhead pass into traffic is not going to be an effective strategy almost ever in the press break.
Now Paige Kohler with 3 points early. Her first free throw is good. And she was relatively quiet for the most part against Kent State. Had that very dominant fourth quarter and almost put Bowling Green in a chance to win, but for no good. That's her second free throw attempt is good as well.
And she had 4 3-pointers she made in that fourth quarter, and also she was the only player to make a 3 for the Falcons the whole game.
22-12 is your score as we approach a minute 30 left in the quarter. Again, we are streaming live on Facebook as the Chanticleers fires a 3, no good. Rebounded by Grimes, and her shot is no good, but she was fouled underneath the basket.
Bowling Green shooting 6 for 10 from 3. Meanwhile, Coastal Carolina 0 for 4. It feels like the Falcons should be up by more than 10 right now, and they've kind of
those turnovers that cost them.
Yeah, they've
those
let
past couple possessions.
Coastal hang around a little more.
Grimes, first free throw attempt is good as she finds her first basket and score of her night.
9 points and 9 rebounds last game, almost a double-double.
Grimes' second is also good. 22-14 is your score. Again, the Falcons are up on top. On the other end, it's Paige Kohler driving left side. They're going to call an offensive foul
I think
on
they're
the
saying
Falcons.
another dribble violation is what I saw. He called the same type of thing on Paige Kohler for the second time.
22-14 is your score for those just tuning in. It's Grimes for the Chanticleers controlling the tip. Now Williams, right wing. Driving baseline. Finds Grimes. Wide open, top of the key. And she knocks it down. And just like that, it's a close ball game again. 22-17 is your score. As we approach under a minute to go in the game. Kai Woods driving, finding Jasmine in front. Her three-point shot was blocked. She got her own rebound. And Taya Ellis got the ball underneath, and she was fouled.
And the lead's cut down to 5 for Bowling Green. The bright side is they've hit their three-point shots, but they have turned it over 6 times and just let up open shot attempts for Coastal Carolina.
Taya Ellis at the free throw line, averaging 6 points a game and 82.1% free throw shooter as she misses her first. Falcons got to continue to control the basketball here as we approach the last minute of the first quarter. Her second free throw is good. 23-17 is your score. The Falcons were so good when they were moving the basketball, and they kind of got away from that. Yes, making their threes, but turning the ball over at a rate you don't want to. On the other side, the Chanticleers have possession. The ball was kicked out of bounds off of the Falcons. They will retain possession as Kristen Williams finds Grimes. Back to Williams, top of the key. Approaching 37 seconds in the quarter. Back to Williams. She finds Klanick. Back to Williams, long three, and she knocks it down. 23-20 is your score. Falcons lead strength to 3. And an errant pass there by Kohler. Knocked away by Grimes. It will stay with the Falcons, but you just see this pressure the Chanticleers are applying on the Falcons early.
Yeah, that's going to be a point of emphasis at the end of the quarter on how to break this press.
Shot clock is turned off. 11 seconds left in the quarter. It's Blaine Fitzpatrick with the ball. Driving. Finds Kohler. 3 on the game clock. Kohler shot, no good. And that is how your first quarter of action will end. 23-20. Your Bowling Green Falcons on top. You're listening to Falcons Women's Basketball here on WBGU 88.1 FM.
This is a Falcon Media Sports Network studio update. Back here in the WBGU 88.1 FM studio, every women's basketball MAC game is underway currently. Some updates with the scores. Ball State is leading Ohio in the only full conference game. The 66-63, the Cardinals lead with just over a minute to go in the third quarter over in Muncie. Central Michigan is falling behind Marshall by 3, 62-59, just over a minute remaining in the third in that one as well over in Mount Pleasant. Kent State tied up with App State with 2 minutes to go in the third in Kent. Miami still leading Georgia Southern by 8, 58-50, as they're about to get underway with fourth quarter action in Oxford. Of course, Bowling Green leading Coastal Carolina by 3 at the end of the first quarter here in BG. Buffalo leading ULM 20-15 after the end of the first quarter over in Buffalo. Eastern Michigan, they're behind early against Arkansas State 24-16. Still over 8 minutes to go in the second quarter in Ypsilanti. NIU leading Texas State by double digits, 21-11, 9 minutes to go in the second quarter in DeKalb. Toledo leading Southern Mississippi 22-14 in Toledo, 7 minutes to go in the second quarter. Akron fell to Louisiana. That's our only final so far. 82-71, the Zips fall at the Jar. And then 7-4, Texas State leading NIU very early in the first quarter in DeKalb.
BGSU hockey is back on the ice at Slater Family Ice Arena against St. Thomas on Friday, February 6th. Falcon Media Sports Network's Nate Hinners, Andrew Helkowski, and Artie Abrego will have a pregame show at 6:45 before Ben Korak.
3:20 is your score after the first quarter of action. And Adam, Bowling Green started out very hot from 3, shooting over 50% still after that first quarter of action, but it was those 6 turnovers that really held costly late.
Yeah, Bowling Green's only up by 3 right now because the press break. They got it the first time down the floor and got Jasmine Fern a 3 early on in the first, but since then it's led to a lot of turnovers or just messy offensive possessions. And I think part of it is that Bowling Green is switching out the rotation a lot. A lot of these exact lineups, that exact 5 out there, haven't really played much together or at all this season. And that's part of the miscommunication and how exactly someone's trying to cut to get open. And it's interesting, too, Paige Kohler, she does inbound the ball at times, but they had her almost exclusively do it, and it was sloppy, to say the least.
Another poor pass and taken away. Loose ball still on the floor, I should say, I guess. And we're going to say a jump ball with the possession arrow in favor of the Chanticleers. Straight out of the gate, Chanticleers providing that pressure again, and another turnover, the 7th of the day for the Bowling Green Falcons. It's Williams for the Chanticleers, running the point, handing it off to Klanick, and she tried to give it to Grady. It was knocked away there by Donahue. She recovers. 16 on the shot clock. Grady drives, fires, and tries to pass it to another Chanticleer. Her three-pointer misfires and rebounded by the Falcons. It's Kohler, left wing, hands it off to Fern. Fern guarded very closely. Ball finds Woods, back to Kohler. Kohler drives left side, hands it off to Moxie, and she loses it. The ball rolls out of bounds, and another turnover here for the Falcons.
Right there, Moxie, she just took one extra dribble inside. If she just went up with the shot, she would have at least been fouled or had one that would have been close.
It's 23-20, Bowling Green leading. If you're just tuning in, we're approaching 9 minutes to go in the first half. On the other side, Chanticleers in action. It was Klanick with an underneath layup, no good, taken away by Donahue. She's running the floor, driving inside, left-handed layup, no good. Fans wanted to contact and a foul, and meanwhile it's the Chanticleers running point. Pass underneath is tipped and knocked loose, and Bowling Green will take possession after that Chanticleers turnover. On the other side, it's Donahue. Gives it back to Fern, back to Donahue. And she will hand it off to Woods. 23-20 is your score with 8:35 remaining in the first half. Fern, left wing, gives it back to Kohler. Kohler finds Donahue, back to Kohler, left wing. She lets it fly. No good. goes airborne and out of bounds, and Coastal Carolina will take possession on offense.
It felt as if Bowling Green was so comfortable at the start, and now almost every pass there's just an extra second of hesitation, and especially in the shot selection too.
The Falcons have yet to find a field goal here in this quarter. As Williams for Coastal Carolina runs point, she finds Grady. She fires a long three and knocks it down. What a three there by Tessa Grady, and just like that, the score is tied and knotted up at 23. It's Woods sprinting across the forecourt. She's double teamed. She finds a wide open Donahue in the right corner, and she could try to find Moxie, and Moxie lost it. Another turnover here for the Falcons, and just like that, Coastal Carolina fires another three in the right wing, no good. Taken back by Williams. She fires to Tessa Grady, right wing. She misses, taken back by Woods. Woods running into the paint, right-handed layup, no good. Loose ball on the floor. Donahue recovers. Found Kohler and trying to sort things here down low.
I think they're trying to figure out the shot clock because it didn't look exactly like anyone had exact possession for Coastal.
With that, Coastal Carolina have two players checking in. It's Bailey Louder and seems like Hennessy Lou Brown as well. But yeah, still trying to sort things here. With 7:57 left in the first half of action. Again, knotted up at 23 apiece.
And a big thing for Bowling Green that they need to figure out is after a made basket by Coastal Carolina, they need to have whoever they want to inbound the ball to actually grab it, because it's not ideal for Kaya Woods to be the inbounder at 5'3". You want at least one of your taller players so that they're able to effectively pass it to a ball handler. Kaya Woods, she should be the one getting the ball and pushing it up the floor, not the one inbounding.
Now Tessa Grady leading in the points category with 9 for Coastal Carolina, and Jasmine Fern also with 9. We have hit the timeout. We'll keep it here. But Bowling Green offensively have been going too quick at times also, right?
Yeah, it feels like they try to go super fast. They get pressed, and they're like, if we have to move the ball over half court quickly, then we got to shoot the ball quickly as well, and it's not a recipe for success, and it's been a stagnant start to the second quarter.
With that, we'll take a time to read this timeout. This timeout is sponsored by Juniper Brewing Company. You can find the latest menu at juniperbrew.com. And with that, we can take a little bit of a break here. We still have other action for Falcon Media Sports Network. Men's basketball traveling to Arkansas State. Their action is going to be tipping off here in about a half hour at 3 p.m. And as well, hockey playing St. Thomas tonight at 6 or 7 p.m. And Ben Korak and Vaughn also making the call here. Vaughn, one of the newest additions to the Falcon Media.
Don't have time to tune into a BGSU sports broadcast? Falcon Media Sports Network will have you covered with live updates of home BGSU athletic events. To follow along, head over to @BG_FMSN on Twitter X.
The BGSU women's swim and dive team capped off their historic regular season on January 31st with a commanding 227-124 victory over rival Toledo in the Battle of I-75. The win marked their first triumph over the Rockets since 2022 and served as a fitting finale to a remarkable regular season. The Falcons finished with an impressive 13-3 overall record, including a 3-1 mark in conference competition and a dominant 5-0 record at home. Their blazing 12-0 start to the season set the tone for the year, standing as the program's best opening and most successful regular season in nearly 5 decades. The Falcons now prepare for the MAC Championship in Akron, Ohio from February 25th to February 28th, seeking their first MAC Championship since 1981. This has been 60 Seconds in Falcon Athletics.
BG Hockey finishes their weekend series against St. Thomas at the Slater Family Ice Arena on Saturday, February 7th.
Falcon Media Sports Network's Gavin Gill, Kevin Hutchinson, and Artie Abrego will start the broadcast with a pregame show at 5:45 p.m. before Ben Korak and Vaughn Allum call the game at 6:07 p.m. on WBGU 88.1 FM,
your home for Falcon hockey.
Did you know Falcon Media Sports Network has video highlights of BGSU athletic events? To see all the moments from your favorite BGSU teams and athletes, head over to the BG Falcon Media YouTube channel or view them on bgfalconmedia.com.
This is Phil Beskid, BGSU Radio Faculty Advisor. You can catch all the Falcon Media Sports Network broadcasts on our two stations, WBGU 88.1 FM and Falcon Radio, which can both be found on bgfalconmedia.com. I Ziggy.
This is a Falcon Media Sports Network studio update.
Apologies for these technical difficulties we are experiencing. We are back here in the studio. My name's Sam Bork. Just going to give you another quick Around the MAC update. We have Coastal Carolina up by 2 on Bowling Green right now. That is still in the second quarter, 25-23 there. Earlier, Tyler, the MAC website was showing the wrong score for some reason. Ball State is actually playing Troy, and Troy is up 78-68, 7 minutes and 44 seconds left in the fourth there. So a little confusion there. South Alabama and Western Michigan, that is a 5-point game. Western Michigan up 69-64, under 5 left in the fourth there. Old Dominion is playing Ohio. They are up by 5 with 8 minutes 46 left in the fourth. Marshall and Central Michigan are playing. Marshall up by 4, 71-67 with about 6 minutes left in the fourth. And Miami, Ohio up by 9 on Georgia Southern with 5 minutes remaining, 68-59. And then Kent State and App State, a 1-point game there, 54-53. App State up with 8 minutes left in the fourth. Here in the second, Northern Illinois up by 9, 22-13 over Texas State with about 5 minutes left in the second there. Toledo holding a 5-point lead over Southern Mississippi with 2 minutes and 46 seconds left in the second, 26-21. Buffalo holding a 3-point lead, 24-21, with under 5 to go in the second quarter. And then Arkansas State and Eastern Michigan. Arkansas State holding a 3-point lead, under 3 minutes to go, 29-26 there in the second quarter. And like we said, Louisiana picking up the win over Akron. That is the only game to go final, 82-71, Louisiana getting a win there. So that is everything around the MAC in women's basketball in the conference.
Hi. This is Christina Ricci with RAIN. Every 2 minutes, another American is sexually assaulted. If you or someone you know has been sexually assaulted, you are not alone. Help is just a call or click away through the National Sexual Assault Hotline. Please call 1-800-656-HOPE, that's HOPE, or visit rain.org, that's RAINN.org.
Brought to you by RAIN and this station.
You are listening to Falcon basketball coverage live on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Our apologies here inside the Stroh Center after having technical difficulties. We're back in action here. The Bowling Green up 28-27 here with 4:25 left in the second quarter. And again, apologies on our end with technical difficulties, but Kyle Woods is at the free throw line after getting fouled and attempting her first free throw. Her first free throw attempt is no good. Kyle Woods, second free throw attempt. Falls, making it 29-27 Bowling Green lead with 4:25 left in the first half. On the other side, it's Williams for Coastal Carolina. Kira Miller closely guarding her. She drives inside, kick ball loose, will be knocked off of Williams, and Bowling Green will take possession. 11 turnovers for Coastal Carolina, 10 for the Falcons. The Falcons are shooting 22.2% in the quarter and 37.5% for Coastal Carolina. On the other end, it's Lauren Gherkin controlling the basketball, handing it off to Kira Miller. Paige Kohler at the logo. Under 4 minutes to go in the half. Miller bounces inside to Donahue. 7 on the shot clock. It's Kohler. Mid-range shot on the left side. She knocks it down. What a shot there by Paige Kohler. Nothing but net.
Right there, good job by Bowling Green, effectively getting through the press and finding Paige Kohler wide open.
Jimenez loses it, and it's Donahue running the floor. A pass from Miller, and Donahue scores it. What a play there in transition by the Falcons' offense and defense. 33-27 is your score. Klanick controlling the ball. Jimenez now with it, top of the key. Trying to find a man, finds Grady. Tessa Grady at the right wing. She drives right side, hands it off. Inside Jimenez, spins, shoots, and scores. What a play there by Jimenez. 33-29 is your score. On the other end, it's Paige Kohler finding Donahue. Donahue finding a wide open Kira Miller, knocking down the triple. Good ball action there by the Falcons. Tessa Grady driving inside, layup, no good. Control and taken away by Kohler. 36-29 is your score. Miller again. They're going to call her out of bounds, but again, a nice idea there by the Falcons, trying to be quick and elusive in the open court.
Kira Miller right there, she pump faked, and while pump faking, she just brought that left foot back too much. Got to try to keep at least her normal shooting motion when doing a pump fake.
That's 11 turnovers here for the Falcons in the early going. On the other side, Coastal Carolina called for an offensive foul, and it's going to be on Kristen Williams. And with that, Bowling Green will take possession. 2 minutes, 24 seconds is your time. Bowling Green up 36-29. And it's Cecil inbounding, finding Gherkin, gives it back to Cecil. Back to Kira Miller. Now Kohler right wing. Back to Miller, left wing. Top of the three-point arc. Gherkin. Straightaway mid-range is good. What a shot there by Lauren Gherkin. And now it's Williams running point once again. 38-29 is your score. Klanick fires a left wing three. It's good. A whistle is also blown. Trying to sort things here. Coastal Carolina going right to left on your radio dial, and that's where we're trying to see what is going on.
I think they're saying it's a foul on Tracy Houston underneath during the shot, but the basket will count for Coastal. And then Bowling Green is in the bonus, so they'll get free throws after the three-point shot.
With Coastal Carolina's three-point shot made, it's 38-32. Lauren Gherkin is standing alone at the free throw line. Both Jasmine Fern and Paige Kohler in double figures. Fern with 11, Kohler with 10. Gherkin with 5 points here today. Her free throw attempt is true. It's good. 39-32 is your score. And the Falcons not shooting as efficient as they were in the first quarter. And Gherkin second rattles in and out. They're shooting 46.2% here in the second quarter. Shot 50% in the first. It's Williams handing it off to Grady. Grady finding a nice open Coastal Carolina. That was Tatiana Harris inside with the bucket. Lauren Gherkin feeding it back to Kira Miller. 39-34 is your score, under a minute 20 here in the quarter. Donahue, top of the logo, finding Bland Fitzpatrick. She drives left side in the paint. Scoop, layup, scores. What a play there by Janiah Bland Fitzpatrick. 41-34 is your score. On the other end, Kristen Williams finds Klanick, top of the key. She moves alongside right side, bounces it inside to another Coastal Carolina player. She tried to find another player for Coastal Carolina. That would have been Louder on that left corner, excuse me. Ball went out of bounds and stay with Coastal Carolina. Back with Coastal Carolina, Klanick, left wing. Try to find Louder. We're going to call a whistle on Bowling Green. Stay with Coastal Carolina. Foul is on the floor. Kristen Williams finding Harris. Gives it back to Klanick, left wing. Trying to find somebody. She finds Williams by the logo. 9 on the shot clock, 33 seconds left in the quarter. A free throw shot, no good. Taken away in space by Bland Fitzpatrick. She finds Donahue. Left wing, or left layup shot is good. 43-34 is your score, and the Falcons executing perfectly in the late minutes of this first half. Louder, right wing, dribbles to Klanick. Klanick finding Williams, left wing. 4 on the shot clock, or game clock, excuse me. Straightaway three, and blocked by Donahue is Tessa Grady with the triple trying to fire. And with that, Bowling Green is leading 43-34 at the conclusion of the first half. You're listening to Falcons Women's Basketball here on WBGU 88.1 FM.
BGSU graduate Jason Jackson from the Miami Heat here. Make sure to tune into the Zig Zone every Sunday at 4 p.m. on WBGU 88.1 FM, home of the Falcon Media Sports Network.
BGSU Gymnastics returns to the Stroh Center to face Wilberforce and Fisk on Sunday, February 8th at 2 p.m. Check out bgfalconmedia.com for the recap of the contest by Falcon Media Sports Network's Carter Leonard with photos and video on bgfalconmedia.com.
Falcon Media Sports Network now has a pregame, halftime, and postgame show for every BGSU men's and women's basketball broadcast, starting 25 minutes before each game. Make sure to tune in to hear insights and knowledge from Falcon Media Sports Network analysts. You can listen to every broadcast on WBGU 88.1 FM or Falcon Radio, also streaming on bgfalconmedia.com.
Falcon Gymnastics heads to Cape Girardeau, Missouri to compete against Southeast Missouri State and Simpson College on Friday, February 6th at 7:30 p.m. Check out bgfalconmedia.com for the recap of the event by Falcon Media Sports Network's Noah Seeley and all news about BGSU athletics.
All right, welcome back to the Cooling Center studios for WGU 88.1 FM. A little bit of technical difficulties in that second quarter, but we got it all sorted out now, and it's all smooth sailing from here, hopefully, knock on wood. But, guys, regardless of the technical difficulties, BGSU and women's basketball locked up up against Coastal Carolina right now. Everyone's focusing on a bird that's right outside the studio right now.
It flew right out.
I see you guys reacting to that, so we have to focus on the Falcons on the court right now, taking on Coastal Carolina. And it's been a bit of a competitive first half between both teams.
I think it has been pretty smooth sailing. Not so much in the second quarter, but that first quarter they came out and they shot great. I mean, 50% from the field, 54.5% from the three. They looked great. I mean, they were out to a really hot run. I mean, Coastal Carolina couldn't really do a whole lot, but then they did bring it in close towards the ends of that first quarter. But I really like what I see so far out of Bowling Green. They have contained their shooting threats in Coastal Carolina. Only 44.4% from the field, 33.3% from three. I think they've done a great job so far.
Well, it starts out like we talked about that starting first quarter for the Falcons. The first 5 minutes, they went on a 17-5 run, going 5 for 7 from three-point range. And that's, we talked about it pregame. The Falcons kind of having inconsistencies from behind the arc. They've really figured it out in this game, and you could see it from the get-go. Came out, knocked down their first, Kia Woods, knocking down that first three, and just getting the team rolling.
Yeah, and I think the part that really stands out to me right now is the shooting. This has been an inefficient shooting team, especially over the past month. Over 50% shooting for the field right now, 15 for 29. They've hit 8 of their 18 three-point attempts. Now, can they keep that pace? We'll have to see. But that's a very good sign for a team trying to figure out their offense, needing to figure it out ASAP. And they're doing it right now against Coastal Carolina in a game that really affords them the ability to take their time and figure it out.
I mean, all season we've seen a lot of inconsistency with the Falcons when it comes to these quarters. They play great for one quarter. They have a really low-scoring quarter. How can they keep this up against Coastal Carolina? What do they need to do heading into the second half to really keep this momentum going?
Well, I think it starts on the defensive end. They have 10 steals through the first 2 quarters of play. That's great for this team. I think they need to keep that pressure up on the defensive end. Turning defense into offense really helps an offense get into a good rhythm, and the Falcons are already in that type of a good rhythm. So keep up that high-pressure defense and keep the offense rolling.
Keep crashing the boards, too. They're tied right now with Coastal in rebounds with 15. Each team has 5 offensive rebounds. Each team has 4 second-chance points. If they can keep crashing those boards, that's going to lend to great success. And they've also forced 14 turnovers. Like you said with the defense, Foster, if they are able to win this rebound battle and win the turnover battle, they're going to win this game.
Yeah, and I was just about to mention the turnovers, obviously. BG also with 11 turnovers, so, not perfect basketball there. But the biggest swing there is the points off turnovers. BG has 19 points off turnovers. Coastal Carolina only has 7, so I think that's a big swing there. You got to keep forcing turnovers, and you got to create points off of that. I think those are the biggest scoring opportunities you can have.
On the other side of the court, what does Coastal Carolina need to do to really, kind of snap this little bit of a cold stretch during right now and take the lead in the second half?
I think you need to trust your shooters. I mean, they haven't really shot the ball well, especially from 3, like we mentioned. But I think you just need to make the adjustments, the halftime adjustments, and I think you need to come out a lot more confident, and you just need to let it fly, I mean, this team can certainly do it, but obviously they've been held pretty well so far defensively. Not a single player has over double digits for Coastal Carolina, so I think they're going to come out a lot more aggressive and a lot better efficiently, I feel.
I think one of the big things that could work in Coastal Carolina's favor, 16 points in the paint through the first 2 quarters. I think that's a big thing to keep an eye on. They're a 3-point shooting team, but right now they're doing all of their work in the paint. I think as this game goes on, it's going to be interesting to see if Bowling Green continues to knock down the threes at the level they are now, and if they start to pull away, how much more they're going to put, Coastal Carolina is going to put on the 3-point shot. Because as these games start getting out of hand, you start to force those threes up, and you get out of a rhythm that you've already gotten yourself into.
Coastal needs to move the ball around more. 5 assists in the first half is not going to cut it out when Bowling Green has 14. Bowling Green's doing an excellent job of moving the ball around. You're seeing Paige Kohler get to play some off-ball offense, which you don't get to see all of the time. She's really starting to be able to figure out how to not always force herself to be the predominant offensive on-ball person for Bowling Green and impact the game in other ways. Coastal Carolina is playing a little too much ISO, I think, for their success. If they can move it around, like you guys said, they can create those 3-point shots instead of forcing them. So that's going to be key for them.
We're going to take a short break. When we come back, we'll have a little bit more discussion about the player of the game watch and more on the second half preview for the Falcons.
For all BGSU sports news and updates, follow Falcon Media Sports Network on Twitter X at BG_FMSN and head over to BGFalconMedia.com.
All right, welcome back to the Cooling Center on WBGU 88.1 FM. Of course, we're still talking a little bit about the second half of the Falcons. And, of course, there's anyone you guys are looking at right now that could be a potential player of the game, pick, or nominee when it comes down to our post-game show after the game.
Jasmine Fern sticks out, leading the team with 11 points right now. She's been efficient shooting, 4 for 6 in the field, knocked down 3 triples, 2 assists, 2 steals. And then I think Donahue, even though she only has 4 points, she impacts the game in so many different ways. 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals, and a block. So those are the 2 I got my eyes on.
I'd agree with Donahue. 2 of 5 from the field, 0 for 1 from 3. 4 points for Donahue, but 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals, and a block. That's something that you like to see. Something that you like to see. Maybe their offense isn't rolling, but they're doing other things to help impact the game at a very high level, and Donahue's doing that right now.
Yeah, and you say Jasmine Fern. I mean, she had a pretty unexpected first half. I mean, she only averages 4.8 on the season, and she comes out with 11 points, 3 three-pointers. I mean, that's really great stuff you like to see there, But yeah, I like Donahue as well, just because of how much she stuffs the stat sheet, and I have no doubt that if she gets going in the second half, she gets on some scoring runs and she puts up some points. I have no doubt that she can become the player of the game tonight.
All right, now before we head on back to Adam and Trey, any final thoughts before the second half begins between both of these teams?
I think Bowling Green, this is a very important half in terms of confidence. Now that they're ahead in this game and they're having success offensively, defensively, they cannot lose this one. Because if they do, it's just more lack of confidence that this team does not need. If you're able to win it, you see yourselves get a win at home. It's going to give them confidence they might need going into the rest of this conference schedule.
Yeah, they just cannot let off at all. Not even for a second here. You cannot let Coastal Carolina get back in this game. Just keep doing what you're doing. Keep shooting the ball well. Keep the pressure up defensively, and I think you're going to be smooth sailing the rest of this game.
Yep, come out, throw that first punch in the game. Don't let Coastal Carolina find any type of rhythm offensively, and keep with that hardcore defense that they've been playing so far, and that can help really move them on after non-conference play into MAC play again.
We're going to head into a break, but when we come back, we're going to throw it out to Adam and Trey at the Stroh Center for more action.
Looking for a BGSU Athletics talk radio show? Tune into the Zig Zone every Sunday at 4 p.m., where a panel of Falcon Media Sports Network members discuss the hottest BG sports topics. Only on WBGU 88.1 FM.
You are listening to Falcon Media Sports Network coverage on WBGU 88.1 FM in Bowling Green, Ohio.
Welcome back inside the Stroh Center as the second half is nearly upon us and Bowling Green is up 43-34. And Adam, what are your first half takeaways so far?
Yeah, Bowling Green right now, 8 of 18 from 3. That is something that you can say is rare for them this season, to be shooting around the 44% mark and over 50% from the field. It's been a struggle for the Falcons, whether it's been, more of those tougher out-of-conference opponents or within the conference, as they are 10th in scoring within MAC-only games. So Bowling Green, definitely shocking to see that from them. And 14 assists. They're moving the ball around. Kaya Woods has 3. Janaea Donahue has 3. Everyone else kind of helping in with that as they're able to kick it out to shooters or make good passes down low in transition.
Now, turnovers have been a huge storyline so far in this game. 14 turnovers for Coastal Carolina, 11 for Bowling Green. And so far, Bowling Green has scored 19 points off of turnovers, only 7 for Coastal Carolina. And like Tyler said, as they ended their halftime show, Bowling Green's got to continue to put the gas down and have that momentum and confidence going here in the second half.
Yeah, this is a huge game for Bowling Green, just with how rough the recent stretch of games has been for them. A couple heartbreaking losses. I'd say the Toledo loss probably hurts the most, where you had the lead heading into the fourth against your rival on the road, and they weren't able to come out with that one. So Bowling Green, they are up 9 against a team that they face, because the way this MAC Sunbelt Challenge works is that you're supposed to face a team in the similar standings as each other. So, you're supposed to be even teams, and right now you're up 9. You got to prove that you're better than Coastal Carolina.
Tessa Grady has scored 9 points, and Grimes as well as 7. What do you see out of them, and how do Bowling Green stop them going forward?
Well, Tessa Grady, even though she's 6'2", she moves very fast. I mean, she can still handle the ball herself, and even though she's shooting 3 for 9, she has had a couple nifty baskets and also had a and one at one point as well, fighting through contact. So I expected that she's going to still have a pretty good second half as well. And Grimes as well, she was able to hit a 3 when she was left open, even though that's the only 3 she's taken. And, she's just able to be an efficient scorer for this Coastal squad.
Well, that wraps up our halftime coverage. We are 1 minute away from the second half of action. You're listening to Falcons Women's Basketball here on WBGU 88.1 FM.
'Quinn Emerson earned CCHA Forward of the Week after a standout performance in the home-and-home series against Notre Dame. Over the 2 games, the senior forward recorded 4 points. He posted a goal and 2 assists on Friday night, then followed it up with another assist on Saturday. Emerson continues to set the pace for the Falcon offense by leading the team in both assists and total points, and is tied for the team lead with 8 goals on the season. This has been 60 Seconds in Falcon Athletics.
43-34 is your score, and we are ready for second half action as Bowling Green has Kyle Woods, Janaea Donahue, Jasmine Fern, Kendall Moxie, and Paige Kohler, the same starting 5 that started the game, and I like that lineup a lot so far against this Coastal Carolina team.
Yeah, Jasmine Fern started out hot, still 3 of 5 shooting from 3, but she made the first 3 of those attempts. And yeah, Bowling Green has gotten a lot of people involved in this one, as they've played 10 players already, and it's good to get experience for players. You're not going to just have 5 players be the reason you're going to win games.
Kenzie Grimes will inbound and give it off to Kristen Williams, and Coastal Carolina will run the first possession here in the third quarter. Right now, Coastal Carolina on the right wing. Finds Grimes inside. She loses it. Stolen away by Kyle Woods, and she runs in the open floor. Going coast to coast. layup is good. And the Falcons start once again with the first basket here in the third quarter.
Kai Woods has had a tendency throughout the season to just fly at the basket too fast there. Took a little higher of a jump and got the defender to freeze for an easy floater.
Williams is right wing, cuts inside, kicks it out. 3-point shot attempt, no good. It was Coastal Carolina attempting that one. That was Tessa Grady with the 3-point try. Foul on the floor will be on Bowling Green. And Williams will be the inbound man for the Chanticleers. Excuse me. Grimes, right elbow. Finds a Coastal Carolina player. That was Tracy Houston with the score. 45-36 is your score, and Kyle Woods once again going coast to coast, finding Moxie on the left side, and she banks it in. 47-36 now.
Good nifty pass inside around the defender.
Another 3-point attempt, and it's good. That was Tessa Grady on that left corner. Both teams scoring at a high clip so far in the second half of action. 8 minutes and 30 seconds left in the third quarter. Kyle Woods try to get a basket over multiple Coastal Carolina players, and it's no good. Rebounded, it goes away for Coastal Carolina. They have possession. Another 3-point try off the left wing, and that's good. This time it was Kenzie Klanick. Olivia Klanick for Coastal Carolina. On the other end, it's Kyle Woods handing it off to Fern. Fern kicks it out to Donahue near the logo on the right side. And she throws an errant pass, and another turnover here for the Falcons as Coastal Carolina will be back on offense.
And right there, that pass was just a little high, but also Jasmine Fern's just got to put her arms up for that. It was barely over her head, just kind of a silly play by Donahue and Fern combined.
47-42, 5-point lead for the Falcons. Under 8 minutes to go in the third period. It's Williams. Now Houston. She gives way to Tessa Grady, and she has a wide open lane with a nice right-handed layup, cutting Bowling Green's lead to 3. 47-44 is your score. Kira Miller flies near Bowling Green's bench, and a foul on Coastal Carolina. Stay with Bowling Green.
Yeah, it was Kinsey Grimes with the foul. She was guarding Kiara Miller down the sideline.
Paige Kohler will be the inbound man. She finds Lauren Gherkin, back to Kohler. Klanick closely guarding her. Donahue lost it to Grimes in transition. Gets inside. Finds Houston inside. Tough shot, no good, and rebounded and taken away by Miller. Donahue now driving, going underneath, finding Fern on the left wing, kicks it back out to Donahue. Donahue to Gherkin, and her shot attempt off the left elbow is good. 49-44, Bowling Green lead. Under 7 minutes to go in the third quarter. Williams running the offense. Screen set by Houston. Grady found a pass by Williams. Trying to sort things out. Obviously not in favor of the Falcons, with the Falcon faithful in disagreement.
Yeah, they called Janaea Donahue for a foul after she already let the Coastal player kind of go by, and she fell on her own, and Donahue's not happy with the call, and the fans definitely aren't either.
Make Shamil another person in heavy disagreement there. Nonetheless, it's Grady once again. Top of the key. Feeds it to another Coastal Carolina 3-point attempt. It's no good. A second chance opportunity taken away. Make it a third. Tessa Grady, right wing 3. No good. Loose ball, but this time tracked down by the Falcons. 49-44 is your score. 6 minutes and 20 seconds left in the third period. Miller finds Gherkin. Gherkin Gives way to Kohler, right wing. Kohler dancing, driving. Loses the ball out of bounds, and that's another turnover here for the Falcons. Make it their 14th of the game.
And it just keeps happening almost every game for Bowling Green, where they get it going offensively, and then they have a series of turnovers that just totally eliminate any chance to extend their lead.
Coastal Carolina with 15 turnovers, Bowling Green with 14. Meanwhile, it's Grady driving right side, layup attempt, no good. Rebounded by Klanick, and she was fouled. Olivia Klanick with 6 points today, looking for 7 and 8 points.
She had 14 last game, her career high, as she's only a freshman.
First free throw attempt is true.
And Trey, you have anything to say about her hometown?
Yeah, she played high school at Medina High School. That's kind of in our neck of the woods in Northeast Ohio for both you and Adam, and her second free throw attempt is also good. 49-46 is your score. 5 minutes and 50 seconds left in the quarter. Donnie running the floor. Right-handed layup, no good. Taken away by Louder. Muscles it. Another loose ball, and Donnie tried to reach it. It's going to be on Donnie with a foul.
And now that's her third, so she has to come out of the game. If she picked up a fourth in the middle of the third, she'd be in deep foul trouble. And there, underneath the basket, I think it was Bailey Louder. There was a lot of people in there, but whoever the ball, they kind of moved their elbow and hit Kaya Woods towards the head. That was a missed call.
Nonetheless, Coastal Carolina on offense, and Kaya Woods is in all by herself, and she missed a wide open layup. Taken back by Louder. Williams is down on the floor and in immediate pain. And with that, we'll take a break, and we'll be back. You're listening to Falcons women's basketball here on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Hey, BGSU graduate Jason Jackson from the Miami Heat here. When I was a Falcon, there was BGRSO. Now it's Falcon Media Sports Network. Keep up with all BGSU sports news and action by following BG_FMSN on Twitter/X and check out BGFalconMedia.com. Hi, Ziggy.
9:46 is your score with the Falcons still leading Coastal Carolina. Coastal Carolina with ball as Williams did walk off the floor. It's a good sign for Ashante Clear's faithful. Meanwhile, Houston with a nice, pretty left-handed layup, cutting Bowling Green's lead to 1, 49-48. Kaya Woods, meanwhile, finding Kohler. Miller, straightaway three. No good off right iron. Rebounded by Gherkin, and her shot is good, and she is fouled. And she will have a chance to complete a three-point play.
You want to talk about an offensive rebound and an opportune time. Right there, Lauren Gherkin fights over a couple Coastal defenders, and fortunately enough, kind of had to push it with her left hand as her arm was held, and is able to make it.
Lauren Gherkin now in double figures, knocking down her free throw attempt. That makes 3 Falcon players in double digits in scoring. On the other end, it's Jimenez with the layup attempt, no good. Rebounded by Gherkin. Taken in space by Miller, and she was heavily fouled, and make it another Coastal Carolina player hitting the deck. That was Jimenez getting the wind knocked out of her. We'll keep it here. And with Adam, again, a lot of pink in the stands. It's Play for K Day here at the Stroh Center.
Yeah, it's Play for K. They had a couple nice events for that. Had some people out towards half court at halftime showing signs on who they care for in their lives. And however, this out of the halftime, nice moment with that. These fans haven't been too happy. It's kind of funny seeing a crowd all angry while wearing pink, as that last play right before they headed into this media timeout here was just a full collision.
Now, again, a full slate here for the Falcon Media Sports Network crew, but we also have a huge game tomorrow, the Super Bowl. Seahawks, Patriots. Adam, who do you got?
I got Seahawks in that one.
Any score predictions for us?
I would lean towards 28-20 would be my guess.
I've been saying to people 30-17 is my score prediction. And just take your time here. This timeout is sponsored by Juniper Brewing Company. You can find the latest menu at juniperbrew.com. Again, so we'll keep it here. Falcons up 52-48 here at the Stroh Center. And again, Bowling Green's got to continue to play well and play with the lead.
Yeah, Bowling Green, they are only up 4 right now, and they were up double digits very early in that first quarter. It looked like they were going to be able to extend that lead. However, just a lot of physical plays down low, and Bowling Green still shooting very effectively. It's just the turnovers have hurt them, and 6 of 9 shooting from the free throw line. It's not awful. It's not that many attempts. You've only missed 3. However, those points, they help when it's close games. Right now, Coastal Carolina has also shot 9, but they've made 8 of their attempts as well.
The past 2 games, Bowling Green's done a better job at limiting their turnovers, only having 15, both against Toledo and against Kent State, their past 2 opponents. And right now at 14, one away of tying that already as we reach the midway point in the third quarter. They got to continue to play protective basketball and take care of it.
Yeah, and before those 2 games where they were right around this mark of 14, 15, 16, they had a couple games in a row where they had over 20. It was, I believe, 3 games in a row with over 20 turnovers, and that is something that they got to limit right now. They might end up around that area. However, Coastal Carolina's at 16. The main thing I think with the turnover differential is that you're on the positive end of it. If you have 30 turnovers and they have 31, very bad. But if Bowling Green can just limit it down the stretch and get a couple more steals from people like Janea Donahue, she has 2 today, and Kaya Woods and Jasmine Fern have also added 3 apiece.
The Falcons started with the 3-point shooting very strong, 6 of 10 in the first quarter. Now 8 of 19 in the game. They've only knocked down 2 since then. You got to figure they got to get back to that at some point. Meanwhile, we're back in action as the Falcons are on offense, and Kaya Woods giving way to Paige Kohler. She is dead center, now looking left. Louder closely on her. A shot attempt no good, rebounded by Gherkin. And another shot attempt good with a foul for Lauren Gherkin.
Yeah, right there, I assume Jasmine Fern's shot was tipped because it was about 5 feet short of the basket. So Lauren Gherkin adjusted. The ball was a little behind the hoop as well, got over a couple Coastal players, and once again finishes through contact.
Lauren Gherkin's free throw attempt is good, and now she is tied with Tessa Grady of Coastal Carolina with the game-high 14 points here today at the Stroh Center.
Lauren Gherkin has really come on in the second half of this season, 3rd on the Falcons in scoring, and it's been amazing.
A turnover for Coastal Carolina, taken away in space by Paige Kohler. She slows it down, loses the ball herself, taken in space. Now this time it's Louder, kicking out. It's Grady. 3-point shot, no good. Taken away by the Falcons. It's Woods running fast again. High arcing layup shot, no good. And she was fouled. Kaya Woods with 8 points today, and with these free throw attempts, she can look to get numbers 9 and 10, and being the 4th Falcon player to be in double digits.
It ended up with Kaya Woods going to the free throw line as she makes the first, but she did have Jasmine Fern open on that right wing. That would have been another opportunity to get back into the three-point groove.
Wood's first free throw attempt is good. Her second also falls into the basket. Now with 10 points. So that does, in fact, put the Falcons with 4 players in double figures. Klanick on the other end, driving, right-handed layup, no good, but she drew contact, and she also will be going to the free throw line.
And it feels like in the second half, there's been a lot more whistles. The pace of the game has slowed down as both teams 5 fouls apiece, so any foul will lead to free throws the rest of the way in this quarter.
Klanick's first is good. 57-49 is your score, under 4 minutes to go in the third quarter. Klanick's second also falls. And another turnover for the Falcons as a three-point attempt was fired for Coastal Carolina. No good, and off of Coastal Carolina. The Falcons will take back possession, but once again, full court press here for Coastal Carolina. A whistle's blown, and trying to sort things here once again. Here's a Stroh. A timeout is called. And with that, this timeout is sponsored by Juniper Brewing Company, 145 South Main Street in downtown Bowling Green, featuring coffee and craft beer and serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner. See the latest menu at juniperbrews.com. We're listening to Falcons women's basketball here on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Don't have time to tune into a BGSU sports broadcast? Falcon Media Sports Network will have you covered with live updates of home BGSU athletic events. To follow along, head over to @BG_FMSN on Twitter X.
You're listening to 88.1 WBGU, where we're looking to make radio indie again. From blues and jazz to rock and metal, and even pop and folk, 88.1 WBGU FM features a variety of genres played by our diverse group of DJs. You can expect something different every time you tune in. 88.1 WBGU. Return to Radio Freedom.
Join the Zig Zone Sundays from 4 to 6 p.m. on WBGU 88.1 FM.
57-50 is your score at the Stroh Center. Once again, Falcons still leading. 3:46 left in the quarter, the third period. And Adam, you were talking to me during break. What were you saying there with those last sequences of events?
So Kiara Miller got the ball in the corner, had 2 Coastal Carolina defenders come towards her. The one official near the ball called a foul, and I believe the other one was more down the court towards Coach Shamil for the Falcons. And I believe it was a Bowling Green timeout, and that they should have the ball, but there's no foul, no free throws for BG. They just retain possession. Meanwhile, Coastal, they wanted a jump ball and didn't get it. So we'll see how the teams line up out of the timeout right now.
It is important to note, Kenzie Grimes for Coastal Carolina at 4 personal fouls. Something to closely eye as we approach not only the remainder of this quarter, but into the fourth. Falcons still shooting over 50% of the game, 51.3% as a whole. And then on the other side, Coastal Carolina shooting their worst of the game this quarter, 35.7%, making that a 41.5% field goal percentage in this ballgame for Coastal Carolina. And with that, it is Bowling Green with the ball. An excellent pass by Paige Kohler, playing quarterback. Tried to find Janiyah Blaine Fitzpatrick and did. Her layup just was no good. A whistle called, and Looks like it's going to bring
free throws from being in the bonus now. And right there, Paige Kohler, a great football-style pass to Joniah Blaine-Fitzpatrick, just had that layup rattle in and out.
Meanwhile, Coastal Carolina's Tracy Houston's free throw attempt is good. First one falls. 57-51 is your score. 3:40 left in the third period. Houston second. Bounces in. Once again, Coastal Carolina playing their full court press on the Falcons. Janaea Donahue kicks it out left side to Kaya Woods as she cuts inside, middle of the court. She is now double teamed. She then finds Gherkin, and Gherkin finds Janiah Blaine-Fitzpatrick, and she drew the contact. She converted the layup, and she will also have a chance to complete the three-point play. What a play there by the Falcons, and perfect execution.
A common mistake on a play like that is a person in Lauren Gherkin's spot would catch the ball and try to dribble. Gherkin immediately caught it, turned, found the open Blaine-Fitzpatrick, and she went strong to the basket.
Bland's first Fitzpatrick's free throw attempt is good, and she completes the three-point play. 60-52 is your score. 3:28 left in the third period. Falcons on top. Left side is Tessa Grady driving baseline, finds Houston, and a pretty play there on the other side by Coastal Carolina. 60-54 is your score. Bowling Green on top. Kaya Woods finding Donahue. Back to Woods. Right wing. And she will slow down the offense. Finding Lauren Gherkin, and Lauren Gherkin try to find Donahue in between two Coastal Carolina defenders. And they're going to give the ball to Coastal Carolina off of Donahue, it seems like.
Yeah, right there, Donahue bumped into a couple players, but no foul called. Fans are not happy.
They're going to call out turnover on Lauren Gherkin. On the live stats here. Ball goes out of bounds, deflected off of the Falcons. It will stay with Coastal Carolina. Bailey Louder will take the ball out of bounds for the Chanticleers. And it's Kristen Williams handing it off to Tessa Grady. Her three-point shot, no good. And tracked down by Janiah Blaine-Fitzpatrick as she hustles down the floor. Finds Woods. Woods to Gherkin. Woods to Kohler. Now with Donahue. Gherkin on the left wing, driving left side. And she loses the ball. They're going to call an offensive foul on Bowling Green. Once again, 60-54 is your score, with Tessa Grady and Lauren Gherkin with both game highs, 14 points in today's action. On the other end, it's Coastal Carolina. Williams on the right wing, giving way to Louder. Louder going left side, near baseline. Oh, pretty pass, but ultimately stolen away by the Falcons. In space, it's Kaya Woods. 2-on-1, finding Blaine-Fitzpatrick, and once again, it's Janiah Blaine-Fitzpatrick drawing the contact and scoring. What a play there on the 2-on-1 play for your BG Falcons.
Kaya Woods, great job pushing it down the floor, and Blaine-Fitzpatrick got grabbed from almost directly behind, which is usually worse. You know, you can't elevate the shoulders. She just used enough strength to get the ball up and in the basket.
Blaine-Fitzpatrick now with 7 points, looking to complete her second three-point play here, looking for her 8th points. Missing and taken away in space. That was Houston on the rebound. On the other side, it's a left wing three by Klanick, Olivia Klanick, and she drew contact. 62-54 is your score, and Klanick will be awaiting the ball as she will have her multiple free throw attempts.
Yeah, Paige Kohler Not happy with the call. Couldn't exactly see within transition.
Planix first is good. Once again, want to take time. We are on WBGU 88.1 FM, but also streaming live on Facebook on BG Athletics page. Planix second rolls in and out.
Planix 76.2% on the season.
Planix third free throw attempt. Rims out, taken away by Kira Miller. It's Donahue running, kicking out. Blaine Fitzpatrick, pull-up shot. It's good, and Blaine Fitzpatrick has done no wrong here in the last few minutes of this third quarter. 64-55 is your score with 1:30 remaining in the third period. Klanik heaving a three. No good. And Donahue takes it away. Once again, it's Woods in space, finding Blaine Fitzpatrick. Blaine Fitzpatrick trying to squeeze her way through the defenders, and meanwhile taken away in space. Klanik again on the offense. It's Donahue taking the ball away. Sloppy passes here and sequences of events here in the past couple possessions. Meanwhile, Kira Miller, three-point shot on the right wing is good. They're letting it fly. And a timeout called as Bowling Green now 67-55 is your score. This timeout is sponsored by Juniper Brewing Company. You can find the latest menu at juniperbrew.com. You're listening to Falcons women's basketball here on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Miss a BGSU sports broadcast? Head over to the BG Falcon Media YouTube channel to listen to past calls by Falcon Media Sports Network.
Now back to more Falcon basketball action live on WBGU 88.1 FM.
67-55 is your score. And the Falcons being clutched down the stretch as we are under a minute to play in the third period. And Adam, what was an awesome sequence for Blaine Fitzpatrick in the last minute?
That was a wild sequence. Blaine Fitzpatrick able to get a couple baskets. Both teams having everyone fall on the ground. Blaine Fitzpatrick did the splits when trying to get a loose ball and then somehow grabbed it and threw it between her legs. It was a chaotic minute.
Nonetheless, it's now back in the hands of Coastal Carolina. Jimenez controlling the ball. Lobs it to Williams on the right wing. Grady now driving, loses the ball for a second, gets it back. The whistle's called, and they're going to call another foul on the Falcons. They're going to call that on Jaden Cook. It's going to be her first personal of the night. And with that foul puts Coastal Carolina at the bonus. And Tessa Grady will go to the free throw line.
Yeah, Coach Emile, he wanted a jump ball there, but unfortunate as they didn't think there was enough to overturn it.
Grady's first shot was good. Her second also is good, and now she sits alone with the 16 points with the game high in scoring. 67-57 is your score. 40 seconds left in the third quarter. Bowling Green leading by 10. The Falcons just passed the forecourt, and it's Kira Miller controlling the ball. Gives it back to Woods. Woods finds Cecil right wing. Woods right corner. Now it's Cook. Hands it back to Woods. Woods try to find Blaine Fitzpatrick and just lost the ball off of the Falcons, and another turnover for BG.
Bowling Green, they got the ball up court there through the press, but they needed to stop passing it into the corner. That's where you get a double team and a trap, and it led to almost a turnover right underneath their own basket.
Shot clock is turned off under 15 seconds in the quarter. It's Jimenez running point. Driving inside the paint. Shot attempt, no good, but she was fouled. 6.8 seconds left. on the game clock. Jimenez with 8 points today, 3 or 4 from the floor, and so far 2 from the free throw line. Looking to be 3 and 4. Jimenez first is good, cutting Bowling Green's lead to 9. Jimenez second free throw attempt. Also is good. 67-59 is your score. And with 6.8 left, once again, the Chanticleers will go in the full court press. Woods heaves it. Try to find Blaine Fitzpatrick, taken away in space by Williams. Williams found Grady for a three-point shot, and she knocks it down. 67-62 is your score, and that is how your third quarter of action will end. You're listening to Falcons women's basketball here on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Falcon Media Sports Network and BG Falcon Media takes pictures for nearly all BGSU and Bowling Green related events throughout the year. Head over to bgfalconmedia.com to check out thousands of photos and all the content.
This is a Falcon Media Sports Network studio update.
Welcome to the Colleen Center. We're going to walk you through just a couple of quick updates with the MAC Sun Belt Challenge. Bowling Green men's basketball has tipped off against Arkansas State and are trailing 15-10. But on the other side of the men's teams, UMass and Coastal Carolina are in a triple overtime game. Coastal Carolina leading 86-85 right now with 2:26 left in overtime number 3.
BGSU women's track and field finishes competition at the Doug Raymond Invitational in Kent, Ohio on Saturday, February 7th. Falcon Media Sports Network's Dan Ridenauer will have a recap of all the news and results from day 2 of the event on bgfalconmedia.com.
After this game wraps up, more coverage continues online at bgfalconmedia.com.
67-62, Bowling Green up by 5 as we approach the fourth quarter of action. And Adam, you did not like that last sequence of events for Bowling Green defensively.
No, those final 6 seconds, very frustrating if you're a Bowling Green fan, as they had Kaya Woods inbound the ball. Now, it's not awful to have a guard inbound it, but she's the shortest on the roster against a full court press. And then she was the one that tried to do a football-style pass all the way to the other three-point line. It went over the head of Glenn Fitzpatrick, and it led to a final three-point shot. I believe that was Klanik that hit it at the buzzer.
It was Grady.
It was Tessa Grady. Or the live stats, there's a issue with that right now. But Grady, I believe, is up to 17 points now after that, and it was wide open for her. So with 6 seconds, you had the ball, turned it over, let up a three. That's, cuts it down to 5 now, as there was so many momentum swinging plays, 2 and 1s by Joniah Bland Fitzpatrick, and it feels like all that momentum was lost in those final 6 seconds of the quarter.
With Coastal Carolina down most of the game and only leading the midway mark of the second quarter, Tessa Grady's done her all to continue to have this Coastal Carolina team fighting for the lead. Meanwhile, it's Donahue trying to find Lauren Gherkin on the left side of the court in the corner there, and she just fired it too high off the mark and out of bounds. Another turnover for the Falcons, make it their 21st turnover for the BG Falcons.
And that's happened too many times today, just passing it to an open teammate and throwing it over their head.
Williams at the logo, running point. Screen set by Houston. She hands it off to Jimenez. Back to Williams on that right side. She fires and knocks down a triple. And Bowling Green's lead is knocked down to 2. 67-65 is your score. Kaya Woods running point. Gives way to Donahue on the left side. Donahue finding Kohler, right wing. She fires. In and out. And rebounded by Jimenez. And Kristen Williams quickly down the floor. Finds another Coastal Carolina defender on the left corner. She was fouled. Trying to identify who that player was.
Well, I'll tell you who committed the foul. It's Janea Donahue, and that's her 4th with 9 minutes to go in this one. So Kiara Miller will come in for her. And now Janea Donahue, she's limited to only playing the final couple minutes of this game.
Make it Tessa Grady who fired the three-point shot, so she will have three free-throw attempts. Her first rattles in. She has now hit 20 points in the ball game. Again, that's a game high in scoring between these two teams. Grady's second, rolls in and out. 67-66 is your score. Bowling Green up by 1 with 9:02 left in the fourth quarter. Grady's third free throw is good. So we are now again tied up at 67 apiece. Lauren Gherkin, Jasmine Fern, Paige Kohler, Kira Miller, and Kaya Woods in on the action. Loose ball out of the inbounds. Bowling Green lost it. They're going to call a foul on Bowling Green. And
I got more bad news for Falcons fans. That's on Paige Kohler. And it's either her 3rd or 4th. They were switching it on the live stats, but not having Paige Kohler and Janea Donahue, your 2 leading scorers on the floor, causes quite a problem in a tied game.
Make it Kohler's 3rd personal. And just like that, the Chanticleers get the ball back. And Houston lost it in space. It's it's Woods running the floor. Whistle called. They're going to call the foul on the Chanticleers. Foul was on the floor. Waiting for game stats to pop up.
I believe it might be Kohler's 4th. They wouldn't make sense exactly to take her out. So I believe Donahue and Kohler at 4. It's just the stats aren't updated.
Nonetheless, Bowling Green gets the ball back. 22 on the shot clock. It's Miller finding Gherkin. Top of the elbow. Trying to get inside. Drawing contact. Try to get the left-handed layup. Not the prettiest plays here in the early going of this fourth quarter.
I'm confused. That should be either a charge or a blocking foul, as Gherkin and a Coastal crowd were all involved in that play.
Well, meanwhile, Shania Bland Fitzpatrick ran the inbound play, found Gherkin, and she got fouled, and I believe she will be going to the free throw line this time around.
Feels like the whole second half, it's been super physical for both these teams. Players flying across the floor, diving for loose balls. Both coaches have to be very happy with the effort.
Gherkin's first falls and is good. 68-67 is your lead for Bowling Green.
And it feels, too, this almost feels like a conference game, even though it's not, with how competitive it feels.
Gherkin knocks down her second. 69-67 now is your score. BG up by 2. 8:30 left in the fourth. It's Grimes going left side off the glass. No good, but she was fouled. Once again, that physicality looming for both teams as Grimes will go to the free throw line. Grimes with 7 points today, looking for 8 and 9. Her first is good. Bowling Green still shooting over 50% 52.2% today. Grimes second, rolls in. And then for Coastal Carolina, today they're shooting 43.5%. So the Falcons have shot the ball much better than the Chanticleers today. On the other side, it's 69 all. As Bowling Green once again double team. Lauren Gherkin finds it in open space. Her right-handed layup is good. What a play there by Lauren Gherkin. Running the floor and a nice pass there for the Falcons. On the other side, a three-point attempt, no good. And bodies for the Falcons hit the floor. It was Miller. And I believe Janiah Bland Fitzpatrick it is, and not a good fall for neither of those players.
I couldn't tell who on Coastal Carolina did it, but I saw a shove in the back while jumping for the ball as Kevin Pedersen, the head coach for Coastal Carolina, is calling for a review, but that was clearly a shove in the back. That was a dangerous foul right there.
They're going to take the ball out of bounds. Bowling Green will. And Kyle Wood splits the defenders, trying to find Bland Fitzpatrick, and just too strong as it goes way out of bounds. And another turnover, make it 24th turnover for the Falcons.
And that one drove Fred Tramiel crazy, immediately putting his hands on his head as that pass was just not needed.
Correction, 23 turnovers for the Falcons. On the other end, it's Williams. Top of the key, finding Louder. Tessa Grady going inside with Houston. Houston loses it and taken space by Fern. Kyle Woods quickly in the paint, and she nearly lost it, and she got fouled, and that's going to be, I believe, on Louder.
And Kyle Woods got fouled there, but she just needs to slow down. She drove directly into two players without even thinking about shooting when she was underneath the basket already.
They're going to call that foul on Tracy Houston.
And now some foul trouble for the bigs for Coastal Carolina. Houston and Grimes with 4 personal fouls apiece.
Kira Miller is the inbound man for the Falcons. Falcons going right to left on your radio dial. She gives it off to Bland Fitzpatrick. Fern Woods now top of the key. Slows the pace down. Kyle Woods right wing. Finding Cook. And she finds then Bland Fitzpatrick, and her shot is good. And Bland Fitzpatrick now in double figures with 11 points. And down the stretch, her action offensively and defensively had proved pivotal for the Falcons. 73-69 is your score as Grimes gets inside the paint and responds. Now 73-71 as your score. Woods with the ball in her hands near the Falcons bench and loses the ball and taken in space by Kristen Williams. She finds Grimes. Mid-range shot, no good. Faked it and found Houston, and she traveled.
Houston just needed to set her feet and then go. It was a good move to get the Falcons defense off guard. Another costly turnover as both teams are over 20 apiece.
We still see 3 fouls for Paige Kohler. She returned back on the floor. She's one of Bowling Green's best players, and you really want your best players playing for you down the stretch. As we approach 6:35 left in the quarter. Janaea Donahue also back on the floor, and she drove baseline, drew contact, and she will be going to the free throw line.
It's going to be difficult for Janaea Donahue, very aggressive player defensively, leading the MAC in steals this season, 4 per game, one of the top stealers in the country. And so far, 4 steals today, but another foul will get her out of this game. And with 6 minutes to go, it's almost hard not to foul almost accidentally with that play style. So they're just going to try to have her give as much output as possible.
Janaea Donahue attempting her first free throw. And it rolls out. Donahue is a 76.8% free throw shooter on the season and is second in the team, averaging 12.3 points a game. Donahue's second is good. So 74-71 is your score. The Falcons still on top with 6:35 left in today's ball game. Coastal Carolina getting the ball out of bounds near Bowling Green's bench, and Jimenez smartly throws it off of Blaine Fitzpatrick's feet, and they will take the ball back out of bounds, still with Coastal Carolina. Jimenez finding Williams, and they're going to call the ball off of Miller, and it will stay with the Chanticleers.
I got to think at this point that Kohler has 4 fouls because the Falcons immediately took her out again. It would make no sense to sit her in this close of a game with 6 minutes.
On the other end, it's another touchdown pass, and Williams hits the deck for Coastal Carolina. Bowling Green gets the ball back instead, and a foul committed by Tessa Grady, and Williams is still on the floor.
And right there, Williams got hit directly in the face. That no other way around to say it besides that it was a missed call.
We will take a break with Bowling Green up 74-71. You're listening to Falcons women's basketball here on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Are you a fan of BG Falcon Media and the Falcon Media Sports Network? You can show your support for BGSU student media by donating at the bottom of the page of stories on bgfalconmedia.com.
After breaking multiple program records at the Mayo Invitational, BGSU Women's Track and Field is back in action for the first day of the Doug Raymond Invitational in Kent, Ohio on Friday, February 6th. Head over to bgfalconmedia.com for the recap and results of the first day of the event by Falcon Media Sports Network's Holden Rugg.
BG Women's Tennis looks to bounce back after their loss against Marshall as they face Bellarmine at Perrysburg Tennis Center on Friday, February 6th at 1 p.m. Check out the recap of the event by Falcon Media Sports Network's Kevin Hutchinson on bgfalconmedia.com.
You are listening to Falcon Media Sports Network's women's basketball coverage on WBGU 88.1 FM.
74-71 is your score. Falcons up by 3 with 6:24 left, and fortunately for Coastal Carolina, Kristen Williams did walk on her own, getting checked out by trainers near Coastal Carolina's bench. And we did get an update. Paige Kohler does have 4 fouls, so both Donahue and Kohler both with 4 fouls on their own, and it's going to prove pivotal here down the stretch.
Yeah, they're going to have to rely on other players. Kaya Woods has 10 points, 7 assists in this game. Lauren Gherkin leading the way for the Falcons with 18 points. And Janiah Blaine Fitzpatrick has been a pleasant surprise in this one. 11 points, and it's been efficient 11 points. 5 of 7 shooting with a couple really nice shots while being fouled as well.
For Coastal Carolina, they're going to hope that Williams is okay. Although she's not that scoring threat with 6 points today, she is such a pivotal point guard for this group with 4 assists and ultimately on defense 2 steals.
Yeah, she leads or is tied for the lead in points per game. Also tied, or actually leading the team with 3.2 assists and leading with 1.7 steals per game. So she is definitely an important part of this team, and we'll see if she will come back into this one in the final minutes.
Fred Shamil, Bowling Green's head coach, is having a word with the referees and unsure what he's probably arguing about. Laughing right now, honestly.
Well, both coaches are meeting next to the referee, or all the three officials at center court. That's a rare thing that happens. So it might be about the hit that Williams took and that being a foul retroactively. Because Coastal Carolina, Kevin Pedersen just walked away while Shamil's talking about it. So there may be something along those lines being called.
No doubt. But with that, Layla Harrison is on the floor alongside Jasmine Fern, Emily Cecil, Janiyah Blaine Fitzpatrick, and Kira Miller.
And it's a technical foul or flagrant foul, one of the two.
Kira Miller knocks down. 76-71 is your score.
And if I believe I heard that right, they said number 0, which would be Hennessy Lou Brown.
On the other end, it's Deannis Jimenez shooting her technical shot.
And I
knocking down the first.
See why Fred Shamil was confused, as maybe there was something during one of the timeouts that was said by a team.
Yeah, something that we weren't obviously looking out for. Jimenez split her pair. It's now 76-72. Bowling Green on top by 4 with 6:24 left in the ball game. And with that, Coastal Carolina is back on offense. It's Jimenez with the ball, driving in the right side into the paint. Ball goes out of bounds. It was off of Bowling Green. It will stay with Coastal Carolina.
I'm still very baffled at what happened. It was a longer break because Williams went down and then they went to a timeout.
You almost got to think it was just taunting or something on the benches.
Yeah, they said a flagrant on 0, but I don't think 0 was ever in the game.
Nonetheless, Grimes backing in. Lauren Gherkin, float away shot, no good, and rebounded by Janiyah Blaine Fitzpatrick. Meanwhile, it's Kira Miller with the ball in her hands. Right wing, Shamil directing the play. Blaine Fitzpatrick giving it inside to Layla Harrison. Layla Harrison back to Blaine Fitzpatrick. Blaine Fitzpatrick mid-range shot is good. And once again, Janiyah Blaine Fitzpatrick playing a pivotal role here down the stretch, now with 13 points in today's game. And with that, we'll be right back with the legal ID.
You are listening to Falcon Media Sports Network coverage on WBGU 88.1 FM in Bowling Green, Ohio.
78-72 is your score, and Olivia Klanick drew contact, and she is now going to have a pair of free throw attempts. And Paige Kohler and Janiyah Donahue also check back in. Klanick with 11 points, now with 12. Looking to add one more, and it gets to 13. 78-73 is your score. Klanick's second is also good. It's now 78-74 is your score. 5:39 left in the game. Bowling Green taking the ball out of bounds, deflected out of bounds, will stay with Bowling Green. Falcons shooting 55.1% now in the game. To 42.9% is Coastal Carolina. Kaya Woods going coast to coast and using her right hand. And a nice layup is there to extend their lead to 6. 80-74 is your score. Meanwhile, Williams back inside. And she checks back in and responds just like that. Ball goes out of bounds. You're going to say it's off of Coastal Carolina. A full substitution for the Falcons. Layla Harrison, Lauren Gherkin, Emily Cecil, Janiyah Bland-Fitzpatrick and Kira Miller are the 5 for the Falcons. Emily Cecil deflects the ball off of Klanick. It will stay with Coastal Carolina.
Total confusion there as Bowling Green didn't know if they wanted to challenge the out-of-bounds call or not.
Meanwhile, it's Klanick, right wing. Finds Grimes. Grimes goes right side off of Gherkin, and she scores nicely. So back and forth buckets. Here we go. 80-78 is your score. Bland-Fitzpatrick using her right hand, and she responds. Janiyah Bland-Fitzpatrick now with 15 points in today's game off the bench. On the other side, it's Williams fires a 3. It's no good. They're going to call a whistle on Bowling Green. Kohler and Woods both check back in. Donahue as well. Donahue double teamed, finds Kohler. Again, 4:35 is your time left in the game. It's Kohler. Donahue, top of the key, gives it back to Kohler, and she runs clock. Now it's Donahue directing traffic. Donahue finds Fern. 8 on the shot clock. Donahue kicks it out to Woods. Woods got to find a ball. She finds Fern. Fern's got to heave one up there. They're going to call a double dribble on the Falcons. That is Bowling Green's 26th turnover compared to Coastal Carolina's 22nd turnover.
That whole possession, they just never drove the ball inside. They just passed it around the perimeter until the final seconds. Fern double dribbled after trying to catch a pass over her head.
82-78 is your score. Grimes goes left side and kisses the ball off the glass, and that was a pretty bucket for Kenzie Grimes. On the other end, it's Bland-Fitzpatrick going left side. Wild shot, and it's good. Janiyah Bland-Fitzpatrick finding her 17th points of the game, and on the other end, it's Grady losing the ball and losing it, and this time, guess who? Janiyah Bland-Fitzpatrick. And finding Layla Harrison inside for a bucket. And Bowling Green dominant their past 2 possessions. 86-80 is your score. Grimes, left wing, goes left side.
And a foul. You couldn't even hear the whistle with how loud it is in here.
I was going to say the same thing. I never heard a whistle. There was a whistle called. But once again, great playmaking and versatility on the offensive end by Janiyah Bland-Fitzpatrick, now with 17 points, 3 rebounds, and grabbing her 2nd assist on that last possession.
And Bowling Green keeps doing these swaps of the whole lineup or 4 out of 5 as they're trying to manage between the fouls of Kohler and Donahue in these closing minutes.
Kenzie Grimes' first free throw attempt is no good. Her 2nd is good. 86-81 is your score. Back and forth ball game, despite Bowling Green leading most of the way. Donahue finding Janiyah Bland-Fitzpatrick once again. Janiyah Bland-Fitzpatrick now with 19 points. 88-81 is your score. Tessa Grady. Now it's Grimes running baseline on the right side.
And they say she stepped out of bounds while driving towards the basket, I believe is the call.
I believe you're right, but with that, we'll take a timeout. This timeout is sponsored by Juniper Brewing Company, 145 South Main Street in downtown Bowling Green, featuring coffee and craft beer and serving breakfast, lunch, dinner. See the latest menu at juniperbrew.com. You're listening to women's basketball here on WBGU 88.1 FM.
For the
second straight year, Falcon Media Sports Network is partnering with WBGU PBS to broadcast Falcon men's and women's soccer matches. Tune into WBGU PBS YouTube's live streams to hear Lucas Kleinmeyer, Henry Costco, and other Falcon Media Sports Network talent on the call.
Are you a fan of BG Falcon?
88-81 is your score, and Bowling Green with possession. Here under 2 minutes and 30 seconds in the game. It's Kaya Woods driving baseline. Shot no good. Rebounded by Janiah Bland Fitzpatrick, and she was fouled. And you're so impressed by Janiah Bland Fitzpatrick showing her value off the bench today.
Yeah, Blaine Fitzpatrick started the season as a starter in the opener against Louisiana, the first game of the MAC Sun Belt Challenge, and it's been up and down. She really hasn't gotten that much of an opportunity within MAC play, but in this one, a physical game, and she's been there just driving the basket, all of her points coming from within the paint.
Her first shot attempt at the free throw line is no good. She's shooting 61.9% from the free throw line this season. Her second attempt is no good. Doesn't even hit the rim. Meanwhile, Coastal Carolina will take possession on offense. Down 88-81 with 2 minutes and 23 seconds left to go in today's ball game. Once again, want to remind everybody, both teams have lost their previous two. Looking to rebound, and with that, their inbound pass was no good, and Bowling Green is able to capitalize off it, and another Coastal Carolina turnover, their 25th of the night.
Yeah, Kinsey Grimes came back for the ball, got bumped as she was trying to get it, and it hit off her last, so Bowling Green with a chance to extend the lead.
Cook getting it inside, getting triple teamed by Coastal Carolina, losing the ball, and it's picked up by Klanick in favor of Coastal Carolina. It's Grimes driving. Whistle blown. We're going to call a foul on Bowling Green. It's going to put Grimes at the free throw line. They're going to call the foul on Janiah Bland Fitzpatrick. And with that, Grimes is with 16 points, now with 17. Grimes is a 69.6% free throw shooter and missing her second attempt and rebounded by the Falcons. This time it's Donahue with the ball and just throwing it away to a Olivia Klanick. And meanwhile, it's Tessa Grady driving inside right side, missing the shot, trying to go underneath, and controlled by the Falcons. Under 2 minutes to go in the ballgame. Kohler with the ball near the logo. Klanick closely guarding her. Again, 88-82 is your score. 11 on the shot clock. Donahue driving right side into the paint. Tries to find Janiah Bland Fitzpatrick and does. And just like that, Janiah Bland Fitzpatrick is now with 21 points off the bench. Klanick on the other side misfires a three. Taken in space by Donahue. Whistle called. They're going to
send Donahue to the line as both teams are in the bonus.
Donahue only with 5 points today, but 7 rebounds, 6 assists, and 4 steals, which have played crucial here for the Falcons. She can do a little bit of everything, offensively and defensively.
Yeah, she continues to chase the all-time Bowling Green steals record of 101.
Donahue's first free throw is no good. Off iron. Again, 90-82 is your score.
A minute 14 left in today's ball game. And Donahue's second is good. Now with 6 points on the day for Donahue. Hennessy Lou Brown checks in for Coastal Carolina. It's Klanick getting double teamed by Cecil and Janiyah Bland Fitzpatrick and taken away by the Falcons. And she's crowded by 2 Coastal Carolina defenders. And
It was Layla Harrison there, but nonetheless, Layla Harrison and Janiyah Bland Fitzpatrick, you can say, have made impact plays late in this one. Harrison only with 1 basket in her 3 minutes, but it came at a critical point where, it was even closer than this 9-point gap right now, and it was through some contact. And then Bland Fitzpatrick, 21 points on 10 of 12 shooting. Efficient, high scoring. She's got 5 rebounds, and they've been great rebounds at that, you could say. She's been able to jump over defenders, get a second chance basket, down low where there was a lot of bodies on defense. She was able to jump and get them. So very impressive how it's almost been the whole roster has made an impact in this game.
we have hit the timeout. We will keep it here. But nonetheless, this timeout is sponsored by Juniper Brewing Company. You can find the latest menu at juniperbrew.com. And Adam, we just talked about it. Janiyah Bland Fitzpatrick, no doubt, has to be our player of the game today.
Yeah, she definitely does, and it's been great to see a player that has had the adversity this season to come in this game where they need a win. Even though it's not a conference game, you need this momentum. And Janiyah Bland Fitzpatrick has been the one to show out. 21 points in 16 minutes. And Lauren Gherkin, 18 points in 21 minutes. She didn't start this game, even though she has started as of the past about 10 games or so. And those two both, kind of accepting the fact lesser playing time and fighting to really just lead the team. I mean, 39 points between 2 players is something special.
I haven't been keeping track of Bowling Green shooting percentages this season, but 58.9% is surely really good, and they continue to shoot the ball well today.
I'd say it's about 22% higher than their season average. So, yeah, I'd say that's pretty good.
Meanwhile, it's Paige Kohler finding Lauren Gherkin, and she throws it away, and Grimes intercepts the pass. Under a minute to go now in the ball game. 91-82 is your score, and Bowling Green on top. Grimes, right elbow, looking for some help. Drives right side. Poor shot attempt, no good. Loose ball on the floor, and it's going to stay with Coastal Carolina. Bowling Green does need this game, though, especially getting back again. Tuesday they'll have Buffalo on their schedule, and they got to continue to find ways to win down the stretch and hopefully get into Cleveland.
Yeah, and after that Buffalo game, they have a game where you and I will be there for Valentine's Day against Ball State on the road. That is going to be an incredibly difficult game, but playing like this style, exact style of basketball, physical, able to hit your shots, and all they need to do after that is clean up turnovers, as they have 29 in this game.
You can fault that as the one thing to really work on heading into Tuesday. Meanwhile, it's Kaya Woods now with the ball in her hands, finding other Falcon players, and it's Kira Miller who gets tangled up and ultimately fouled near the logo.
And it appeared that Fred Shamil called a timeout, but instead the foul happened right before.
Kira Miller at the free throw line. She has scored 8 points today, and 91-82 is your score. 32.5 seconds is on the clock. Miller's first, is no good. Miller is a 61.9% free throw shooter this season. Now Miller's second is good. Now with 9 points today. And with that, we'll take another timeout. This timeout is sponsored by Juniper Brewing Company, proud creators of
Ale Ziggy Zumba, a light ale made in collaboration with BG Athletics and available at Juniper Brewing Company on South Main Street in Northeast Ohio Kroger stores. Details at juniperbrew.com. We'll keep it here. Once again, Bowling Green up by 10, 92-82. And once again, Bowling Green looking to hopefully get back in the win column.
Yeah, up by 10 with 32 seconds. The strategy is pretty simple. Just hold on to the basketball. Don't let them get a jump ball. At least make sure you get a trip to the free throw line. And really, if I was Bowling Green, you don't want to exactly let them have an open layup, but protect three-point shots here. So try to guard the perimeter. Don't make it a wide open shot. At least get somewhat help defense, but it's going to be almost impossible for Coastal Carolina in this scenario, especially with Bowling Green having possession.
It's been a storyline also to talk about outside of Kohler and Donahue. Who's that third option? At times it's been Lauren Gerken. At times it's been Kyle Woods. Today they've had a multitude of players to go to besides Kohler and Donahue. With that, though, it's Bowling Green with possession, and Janelle Bain Fitzpatrick getting fouled.
It was Layla Harrison on the steal there. Both about the same height, similar hairstyles. Can't blame you. And Harrison, 5 steals as well in the day. I mean, 5 steals in 3 minutes of playing time is unheard of. I'd like to figure out the stat behind that on how many players have achieved that.
Yes, thank you. Harrison, correction, is at the free throw line, and she knocks down the first, now up by 11, 93-82. Harrison second. Is no good and rebounded by Jimenez. Jimenez runs quickly down the floor, under 30 seconds to go in the game. Finds Williams, and she's going to be called for a double dribble. Refs have called that numerous times here today.
And 11-point difference with 21 seconds. I assume the two teams will let the clock run out, as Bowling Green, I believe, was the one that used their timeout there to try to make sure nothing silly happens in these final moments.
Bowling Green shooting an impressive 81.8% from the floor this quarter. Once again, that's a 58.9% field goal percentage here today. And meanwhile, it's been a struggle, 42.9% for Coastal Carolina. And outside of Tessa Grady, who scored 21 points, it was Kenzie Grimes with 17 points. But those turnovers have proved to be costly. 29 for Coastal Carolina, 29 as well for BG, and luckily BG hasn't cost BG in turnovers department. And with that, Paige Culver to dribble the ball out, with the Falcons winning 93-82 in the Stroh Center, concluding their 2-game losing streak to Toledo and Kent State as they look to stay dominant and beat, hopefully, Buffalo on Tuesday.
Yeah, very exciting matchup. You don't always get this level of intensity between non-conference foes, but it certainly was a fun one. As you can look at the stat sheet, 24 fouls for each team, a lot of fouls across the board, down low, and just in transition, and all the turnovers, 29 apiece as well. It definitely made for a great matchup and great environment in the Play for K game here, with everyone wearing the pink, and great to be alongside you, but you'll have the post-game interviews for us.
Yeah. With that, Bowling Green is winners, 93-82. We'll be back with some post-game interviews, and stay with me. You're listening to Falcons Women's Basketball here on WBGU 88.1 FM.
BG Women's Golf escapes the cold to compete in the BGSU Women's Intercollegiate in Litchfield Park, Arizona on Tuesday, February 10th and Wednesday, February 11th. Falcon Media Sports Network's Dan Ridenauer will have the recap of all the results and action on bgfalconmedia.com.
Falcon Media Sports Network produces more feature stories about BGSU athletics than any other media outlet. Make sure to head over to bgfalconmedia.com and follow Falcon Media Sports Network at BG_FMSN on Twitter/X and BG Falcon Media on Instagram and Facebook to stay up to date with all of our content. BGSU women's basketball takes the court at the Stroh Center to face Buffalo on Tuesday, February 10th at 7 p.m. Falcon Media Sports Network's Adam Duffin and Dawson Pelcher will have the call of the matchup, with Nate Hanners, Noah Seeley, Kevin Hutchinson, and Jay Kopass providing the pregame, halftime, and postgame shows beginning at 6:35 p.m. Make sure to listen to it all on WBGU 88.1 FM, your home of BG women's basketball.
Falcon Media Sports Network now has a pregame and postgame show, along with intermission reports for every BGSU hockey broadcast, starting 25 minutes before each game. Make sure to tune in to hear insights and knowledge from Falcon Media Sports Network analysts. You can listen to every broadcast on WBGU 88.1 FM, your home for Falcon hockey. Also streaming on bgfalconmedia.com.
Bowling Green women's basketball faces Coastal Carolina in the second leg of the MAC Sunbelt Challenge at the Stroh Center on Saturday, February 7th. Falcon Media Sports Network's Artie Abrego, Sam Bork, and Tyler Kavalitz have a pregame show at 1:35 p.m. before Adam Duffin and Trey Kennedy call the contest at 2 p.m. on WBGU 88.1 FM, your home for Falcon women's basketball.
Hey, this is Nicholas Winholtz, executive producer of The Swoop. Make sure to tune into The Swoop, BG Falcon Media's live sports talk show, produced by BG24, every Thursday at 4:15 p.m., live streamed on the BG24 YouTube channel, and is always available afterwards at bgfalconmedia.com, your home for all BGSU athletics, news, and updates.
Ever wanted to hear what a BGSU coach or player says after a game? Head over to the BG Falcon Media YouTube channel to watch post-game press conferences for all BGSU home volleyball, soccer, football, hockey, and basketball games.
93-82, Bowling Green is winners today. And alongside me, I have assistant coach Maggie Lucas. Maggie, what a performance today offensively for the Falcons, shooting 58.9% from the floor.
Yeah, it was good to see the ball go through the net. You know, we've been playing really well defensively, so it's good to see it at home in front of our fans. You know, go our way a little bit in that way.
Now, offensively, it was the Janiyah Bland-Fitzpatrick show. 21 points off the bench. What was going for her offensively and then defensively as well?
I mean, she was just being really aggressive, but she was also making good decisions. You know, and keeping it simple, getting out in transition, getting to her pull-up. You know, we know she can do that. She hasn't shown it as much as we'd like her to, but, you know, she's moving in the right direction, and, you know, we expect more of that out of her, and she's very capable of it, and, you know, she's been working hard, so it's great to see it come together for her there.
Now, ball movement against Kent State on Wednesday was not something that was really a particular thing. But Bowling Green today, 24 assists. Ball movement was at an all-time high, and I feel like whenever Bowling Green wins, it's because of that ball movement.
Yeah, I mean, that's what you got to do. You can't hold it, you can't squeeze it. That gives the time for defense to recover. So, you know, we did a better job of that today.
Now at 12-11 overall, looking at Buffalo,
Does this chance for Bowling Green give a lot of momentum into Buffalo on Tuesday?
Yeah, I mean, it's, we just got to keep taking it a game at a time, a day at a time, and keep getting better and put ourselves in, a better situation each day than we were the day before. And so that's our focus.
Now, 29 turnovers, both for Bowling Green and for Coastal Carolina. How do you limit those turnovers in every ball game?
Yeah, I mean, you got to be strong to the ball. It's not always the person turning it over. Sometimes it's being available to that person. So, got to do a better job of that. But, I mean, it was a really fast-paced game, and their style of play is to pressure you and speed you up for 40 minutes. So, yeah, we had some moments of a little bit of chaos. I think they call it coastal chaos. But, I think overall we did a good job. I mean, we scored 35 points off their turnovers. They scored 24 off ours, so we won that. And we scored 25 points in fast breaks, and they scored 17, so we won that. So, those are important stats right there.
Well, thank you so much for this interview. Again, Maggie Lucas in the interview with me. Again, Bowling Green 93-82 is the winner today. And don't go anywhere. I'll be right back, I think, with Janiyah Blaine Fitzpatrick with my post-game interview.
Hey, this is Nicholas Winolds, executive producer for The Swoop. The Swoop is BG Falcon Media's live sports talk show produced by BG24. It returns for the first time this semester on Thursday, February 12th, streaming live on BG24's YouTube channel at 4:15 p.m. and is always available afterwards on BGFalconMedia.com, your home for all things BGSU athletics.
Falcon Media Sports Network produces weekly short-form and long-form social media pieces for in-season sports all year long. Make sure to check out at BG_FMSN on Twitter/X and at BG Falcon Media on Instagram and Facebook to view the content.
If you ever miss the Zig Zone on Sundays from 4 to 6 p.m. on WBGU 88.1 FM or just want to re-listen to the program, each show is posted in full on BGFalconMedia.com with timestamps so you can skip ahead to your favorite part.
Falcon softball kicks off their 2026 season in Hampton, Virginia with a doubleheader against Queen's University in Hampton on Friday, February 6th at 10 a.m. and 1 p.m. Falcon Media Sports Network's Dawson Pelter will have a recap of the games available on BGFalconMedia.com.
Are you a fan of BG Falcon Media and the Falcon Media Sports Network? You can show your support for BGSU student media by donating at the bottom of the page of stories on BGFalconMedia.com.
Falcon men's golf travels to the Sunshine State for the Lake Jovita Invitational in Dade City, Florida on Monday, February 9th and Tuesday, February 10th. Falcon Media Sports Network's Kevin Hutchinson will have the recap of the event on BGFalconMedia.com.
Falcon Media Sports Network writes and publishes over 1,000 stories per year, including game previews, recaps, sidebars, opinion pieces, feature stories, and more. Head over to bgfalconmedia.com to view all of our content for every sport throughout the year.
know Falcon Media Sports Network has video highlights of BGSU athletic events? To see all the moments from your favorite BGSU teams and athletes, head over to the BG Falcon Media YouTube channel or view them on bgfalconmedia.com.
Falcon men's basketball heads to DeKalb, Illinois as they return to Mid-American Conference play against Northern Illinois, seeking their fourth straight win against the Huskies on Wednesday, February 11th at 8 p.m. Check out bgfalconmedia.com for the recap of the game and additional content.
Are you a fan of BG Falcon Media and the Falcon Media Sports Network? You can show your support for BGSU student media by donating at the bottom of the page of stories on bgfalconmedia.com.
BG men's basketball travels to Arkansas to face Arkansas State on Saturday, February 7th at 3 p.m. Head over to bgfalconmedia.com for the recap of the game by Falcon Media Sports Network's Andrew Smith and all news about BGSU athletics.
Unlike other local sources, Falcon Media Sports Network and BG Falcon Media will never charge a paywall to view our content. However, if you are looking to support student media, you can donate at the bottom of our stories on bgfalconmedia.com.
This week's Falcon Media Sports Network Athlete of the Week is women's track and field mid-distance runner Rachel Hoover. The sophomore set BGSU school records in the mile, winning the event in 4 minutes and 40.35 seconds, beating 45 competitors including runners from 5 Big Ten teams. She also won the 800 meter with 2 minutes and 12.64 seconds. Hoover was first team indoor All-MAC and first team outdoor All-MAC in 2025. Hoover cut down her mile time by 10 seconds from her previous PR just 12 days prior. She's taking a big leap in her race now compared to when she was a freshman, head coach Lou Snelling said. This has been Falcon Media Sports Network's Athlete of the Week.
Ever heard of Falcon Media Sports Network's broadcast on Falcon Radio or WBGU 88.1 FM but don't know where to listen? Well, set down the radio, pick up your phone, and go to bgfalconmedia.com and scroll to the bottom of the page to stream Falcon Radio and WBGU 88.1 FM for all broadcasts.
BG Hockey finishes their weekend series against St. Thomas at the Slater Family Ice Arena on Saturday, February 7th.
Falcon Media Sports Network's Gavin Gill, Kevin Hutchinson, and Artie Abrego will start the broadcast with a pregame show at 5:45 p.m. before Ben Korak and Vaughn Allum call the game at 6:07 p.m. on WBGU 88.1 FM,
your home for Falcon Hockey.
Interested in joining Falcon Media Sports Network? If you're looking to get involved, send an email to sports@bgfalconmedia.com.
Beskid, BGSU radio faculty advisor. You can catch all the Falcon Media Sports Network broadcasts on our two stations, WBGU 88.1 FM and Falcon Radio, which can both be found on bgfalconmedia.com. Ziggy.
BGSU hockey is back on the ice at Slater Family Ice Arena against St. Thomas on Friday, February 6th. Falcon Media Sports Network's Nate Hinners, Andrew Helkowski, and Artie Abrego will have a pregame show at 6:45 before Ben Korak and Kevin Hutchinson call the action at 7:07 p.m. on WBGU 88.1 FM. Your home for Falcon hockey.
BGSU graduate Jason Jackson from the Miami Heat here. Make sure to tune into the Zig Zone every Sunday at 4 p.m. on WBGU 88.1 FM, home of the Falcon Media Sports Network.
BGSU Gymnastics returns to the Stroh Center to face Wilberforce and Fisk on Sunday, February 8th at 2 p.m. Check out bgfalconmedia.com for the recap of the contest by Falcon Media Sports Network's Carter Leonard with photos and video on bgfalconmedia.com.
Falcon Media Sports Network now has a pregame, halftime, and postgame show for every BGSU men's and women's basketball broadcast, starting 25 minutes before each game. Make sure to tune in to hear insights and knowledge from Falcon Media Sports Network analysts. You can listen to every broadcast on WBGU 88.1 FM or Falcon Radio, also streaming on bgfalconmedia.com.
Falcon Gymnastics heads to Cape Girardeau, Missouri to compete against Southeast Missouri State and Simpson College on Friday, February 6th at 7:30 p.m. Check out bgfalconmedia.com for the recap of the event by Falcon Media Sports Network's Noah Seeley and all news about BGSU athletics.
For all BGSU sports news and updates, follow Falcon Media Sports Network on Twitter X at BG_FMSN and head over to BGFalconmedia.com. Looking for a BGSU Athletics talk radio show? Tune into the Zig Zone every Sunday at 4 p.m., where a panel of Falcon Media Sports Network members discuss the hottest BG sports topics, only on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Quinn Emerson earned CCHA Forward of the Week after a standout performance in the home-and-home series against Notre Dame. Over the 2 games, the senior forward recorded 4 points. He posted a goal and 2 assists on Friday night, then followed it up with another assist on Saturday. Emerson continues to set the pace for the Falcon offense by leading the team in both assists and total points and is tied for the team lead with 8 goals on the season. This has been 60 Seconds in Falcon Athletics.
Come back inside the Stroh Center one last time. Bowling Green winners, 93-82. And to my left, I have Falcon Media Sports Network's player of the game, Janiyah Bland-Fitzpatrick.
Hello.
Janiyah, you were awesome. 21 points off the bench, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal. Down the stretch, you played a pivotal role in getting the Falcons and having them have that lead longer. What was working for you today?
It was just the energy coming off the bench. Like, Coach talked about having PC, which is poised and calm, and, like, that's something we work on a lot in practice. And, like, he always says stay ready and this and that and third. And, like, coming off the bench, I've always, like, loved that because I've had that, hold that composure and come in with an energy boost, and I'm always a defender first. So, like, coming from defense to offense has always been my game. So be able to do that and then having my back with my teammates and they having my back, it was just natural.
Now, shooting was also excellent as a whole, 58.9% from the floor. What was working for you guys offensively, and then how can you replicate that heading into Buffalo or to Buffalo on Tuesday?
I think it was just reading the defense and, like, taking our time. Like, we worked so hard in practice and, like, on the press especially, and, like, how we know that they're going to double every time we come up the court. So it's just, like, reading the defense, take your time, and being poised. That goes back to what I said about the PC. And, I mean, like, leading into the Buffalo game, I think we just need to continue that model of PC, poised and calm, and, like, taking our time and being able to do what we do best, each player, because we need each player on the floor, on the bench, whatever it is, coming in off or staying on the court and giving the energy off and on.
Now, turnovers were an issue today for both teams, quite frankly, 29 apiece for both you guys and Coastal Carolina. How do you prevent those turnovers from occurring, and then how can you continue to score off of those turnovers? Today, 35 points off of Coastal Carolina's 29 turnovers.
I think it's just we can't have too many mental laps because, like when we play even better teams, like Coastal's a great team, but when we play even better teams, like, we got to capitalize off that. Just like they capitalize off, we have to capitalize. We can't just keep turning the ball over and then expect to have a good result. Like, we had to take our time and be calm about what we do and have a composure about our game and our abilities and be confident.
Now, how can you use this momentum heading into Buffalo on Tuesday and then against Ball State on Saturday? How do you guys continue this momentum in these next 2 games?
I mean, it just goes back into practice. Energy, keep that same energy, staying poised, being on top of each other, especially being a sisterhood. Like, don't let this slip. Like, stay together and just be calm. Like you said, just be poised when you get in or if you're not on the bench. And, like, I want to give a shout-out to Layla because, like, she got 5 steals in 3 minutes. That means you're ready. Like, when you come off the bench, you're ready to do what you got to do. So it doesn't matter from starting 5 to the bench to the 6-man. It just matters if you're ready and prepared.
Well, thank you so much. Once again, Janiyah Bland-Fitzpatrick, your Falcon Media Sports Network Player of the Game, and Bowling Green Victors, 93-82.
Thank you for having me.
Awesome win today.
Thank you.
And that will conclude my time here on the radio. Bowling Green, once again, 93-82 Victors today. And don't go anywhere. Bowling Green is also playing men's basketball at Arkansas State. 68-37 is your score with 7:50 left in the second quarter. Please tune in to BG Falcon Media's recap of that game following the conclusion of that game. And then later today, hockey action against St. Thomas. 6:07 p.m. is your start time, and we'll have a full crew covering that game there. So once again, one last time, my name is Trey Kennedy. 93-82 is your final here at the Stroh Center. Have a great night, ladies and gentlemen.
This broadcast has been a Falcon Media Sports Network production. For more BGSU sports news and updates, follow Falcon Media Sports Network on Twitter X at BG_FMSN, BG Falcon Media on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, and head over to BGFalconMedia.com.